Alrighty, welcome to Nikos D&D. I want to make sure that we're on. Does anybody else have? All right.
Shift over here so you have the maroon.
Either you can pull this chair down and move a little closer now. Yeah, don't go too much further. You'll vanish, Scott, because of the box where I am. But that way you got, and Warren can move a little bit to the right, and to the left, if you need to. To the right. That's right. All right, and characters, Saturnine. All right, welcome to Nikos D&D Whispers in the Mists. I am Jonathan Albin, the Game Market Guru, and we are getting ready to start. As we usually do, I'm going to have my players introduce themselves. Please give your personal name, your character's name, class, race, and what your favorite meal on Nikos is. I'm asking for your characters, and that's okay. Make stuff up. That's what we do here. And we do have a new player with us. When we get to you, just give us character background a little bit as far as what we know, what another person would know about you from seeing you. All right, sounds fair enough. All right, I'm gonna start over here to my left.
Hi, my name is Arthur. I am playing the role of Yurlahss, the Dayan Druid, and her favorite meal on Nikos. She recently discovered a rock soup, which was surprisingly good. Had a lot of veggies and carrots, and overall just very pleasant experience, surprisingly made by a guy whose name that we all have willingly forgotten. So, yeah.
Willfully forgotten.
My name's Jacob. I play Vorin, the Dragonborn Sorcerer, and my favorite meal is Nike Donald's.
Yeah. Nick Donald. Nice. Don't get me sued there, but yeah, it's close.
Hi, my name's Uriel. My character's name is Saturnine. She's a tiefling warlock. She's got a scar on her left eye. She's incredibly beautiful. A little bit of background on her. She made a pact with a great old one after her and her lover got, her lover was killed, and she got the scar after cheating some guys in a gambling game that they had going. And so she got revenge with the power that the great old one bestowed on her.
Okay, and for clarification, what you won in the gambling thing that you're still carrying as a prize position is a small necklace. It's more of a diadem, if anything else. It's just a single stone hanging on the necklace, but the stone looks like four palms grasping each other, so it's just four sets of knuckles in it, almost like a square type of a shape. You got it from someplace. Somebody told you that it had some kind of power. During that very first night when you were lamenting over the loss of your lover, you were, how should we say, you were consoled by a voice that made it feel like everything was going to be okay. And in that moment of struggle and strife, you made the agreement.
Cool.
You didn't realize what you were doing until the morning, and you realize you cannot remove the necklace.
Cool.
And it's actually because of the fact that you tried to mess with it has brought itself to choker type, so the stone can't even be hidden. It sits right in the curve of your collarbone there. Finally,
my name's Scott. I'm playing Ashok Cree. He's a Trelawney or a Shadow Elf warlock. I don't know that Ashok would have much of a favorite food, but he...
anything that isn't moving?
Yeah. He's more of a drinker than he is someone who enjoys food.
Excellent. Okay, so you prefer the pronunciation to have I-N-E as ein?
I thought that's how you pronounced it, but I'm not sure.
The stone by that name is Saturnine.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's up to you.
Saturnine.
Well, I'm just saying it could be a comic bit where you have to correct people. It's Saturnine, damn it.
She goes by Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saturn.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Also, for some quick clarification, and this is for the audience as well as it is for players, particularly Saturnine, that you weren't necessarily aware of about Nikos. The sun is not a standard sun. It's a gas giant. Basically, physically in the sky, it's about the size of a saucer. So it's rather large visually. But the light from it is at a lower intensity so that you can actually look at it. As a matter of fact, the closest we have to astrologers actually study the angles of the lines on the surface of the gas giant. There are no other stars in the sky. Even at night, the sky is grayed out by the ambient light that this gas giant produces. Now, there is a secondary solar source, another star, if you will, about which Nimbus, the local star, orbits. That secondary star is known as Yurlahss, and you only get to see it for basically 3 days out of the month because the orbit is so fast for this little planetoid that we're zipping around the gas giants fast enough that 3 days out of the month you get to see the second sun. It's known as Yurlahss. The first day of the 3 that you see it is called is called double star rising. In which case, when the sun comes up, it's got a tiny blip of bright light on its shoulder, on its left shoulder. By the second day, you're actually passing between the two suns, and so it's called day split, where you actually have no night at all for that 24-hour period. And then the third day is called Nimbus ascending, as the darker sun is slowly eclipsing the bright one again. So I just give you that to give you a visual on the planetary stance. The sky is not blue. The sky is kind of a pale mauve color, and the oceans are this deep wine color. This is fundamentally because the lower band of light that comes in reflects, therefore, the other end of the spectrum. And so, although the oceans are red, the sky looks more mauve or purple. There are no birds that we know of. Some people claim to have seen them from time to time, but if they have, they've seen them at extreme altitude and not very close by. This disappearance of birds means that the insect population tends to grow to excessive size and is fairly resilient. So they end up being, in a lot of cases, the greatest nearby enemies will be, for example, a nest of giant ants or things like that. With that in mind, the characters are familiar with 2 towns. You've been living for the most part down next to the ocean in a place called Selk, but recently you guys have made the move up to a town called Banbury. Now this adventure actually occurs, today's adventure, because we are short a couple of players, actually is going to happen fundamentally in your character's past. Now, the 3 of you, as we described originally, knew each other anyway, but this story is going to retell how you got to know Saturnine and explain how they came to be friends and such like. So in this case, you actually were sent up the hill to Banbury, which is why you vaguely remembered that it was up there, even though you hadn't actually been there before. And this is a time of the Festival of the Orange Veils. It's a 9-day festival that regales the world of the power and the value of entertainment, enjoyment, frivolity, and fecundity. Let's just put it that way.
The F's.
Yes. So you have come to the village. So go ahead and place your models over there on the edge of town. The 3 of you. Go ahead. Saturnine, send your model over here. Please. Thank you. Now you said your background was which of the backgrounds did you take? Criminal background?
Yeah.
And did you serve any time?
No.
So you've avoided capture.
All of it, yes.
And are you overt about your form, or are you covert about your form?
Covert.
Okay, so you don't you act like either these are fake or they don't exist.
Exactly.
Okay, which do you prefer to go as?
She has a hood that she usually has on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your if you had to describe your personality in one word only, what would you say your personality is?
Probably one word, huh?
One word.
Coy.
Coy.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That would make sense for you to be traveling virtually in the shadow of an Arentian festival, because the Arentines are big and noisy and full of life and are going to be quick to draw attention. So, ironically, working with them perhaps as what kind of a background as far as occupation what were you doing before? Are you
running games? So like 3-card Monty or whatever.
So that fits exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that must mean you have some of theatrical performance as a skill.
No, I have stealth,
This is when-
intimidation, and arcana.
Okay, this will give you a hint in role play with me.
Yes.
If I say something that sounds like it might be good and you want, why yes, yes I
Yes,
do,
I do.
and add it.
Yes,
and
and
add
Got
it,
it.
and add it, because I'm not going to be checking the character sheets.
Sounds good.
If it makes sense and it sounds fun, let's do it rather than. A friend of mine says that the fundamental rule of Nikos is the rule of cool.
Cool.
So, if it's going to make sense to the story and forward the adventure, that's more than likely what we're going to go with. If at any point you feel like I've pushed the envelope, please raise your hand and say that makes no sense to me. I don't. That includes you guys. It's perfectly fine for you to tell me that I'm over the top. I've been doing this for 45 years, so I'm used to people telling me I'm doing it wrong. I fix it or prove them I'm right. At this case, anyway, you're traveling with the Argentines. You're actually looking for a place to hide out for an extended period of time. You don't necessarily like this running lifestyle. It puts your persona too far at risk. The sooner you can get to an established location where you can remain hidden and not be a part of the chase, will be better off for you.
Got it.
Right? So coming to this little tiny town, you're thinking maybe, just maybe, I can find a way out of it here.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are coming in just as they're starting to hang up the festival emblems and colors. The Argentines are not at all ashamed of their affiliation with the Orange Veil, so they.
You know what this means, boys and women? Party.
So mechanically, what I've done here is I've shown the physical location of the inner part of the city. So this is the inn. Do you remember what the name of the inn is?
In Shill?
No, we're in Banbury.
Banbury, okay.
I put these over here to represent the 9 mines, because there's 8,
Oh, I got you.
8 holes in the side of the rock over here.
No, I only got Point's Edge, but that was not Danbury, for sure.
Do you remember the owner's name of the inn? Benedictus, wasn't that Benedictus?
Oh, I don't have that name. I have Belphalis, Ludwig.
Belfless Crawler. Belfless Crawler. That's the one. And then the head of the guild was Adventurers Guild.
The Warren Brothers? Or no, that's something
No,
else.
there was an individual that lived in town. Used to run the caravan.
Oh, former wagon master
Mm-hmm.
was Maynard Bombast. Father Maynard Bombast.
Father Maynard Bombast. Why did I not get the church in here? All right, so
Oh wait.
no,
yeah,
that's the priest, but that's not
the priest. So Benedictus Frump was the former wagon master.
Okay, then who's the innkeeper?
Belphalis,
Belfless Crawler and Benedictus. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, so Benedictus is here. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the right model. So, and Belfless does have a working relationship with your friend down from Selk, the head of merchants down there. Which was
Malice?
Sure.
Malice.
Yeah. I know his name for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Malice's last name is Forsyth.
Malice Forsyth.
Yes. And his middle initial is F, so yes, that makes him Malice of Forsyth. You find I do a whole lot of horrible puns.
I'm fine with it, man.
So as you're coming into town, do you want to set up you're going to do the Monty or what?
Yeah, 3-card Monty,
3 Dragon Monty.
3 Dragon Monty,
Yeah, sure.
or some sort of variant.
Okay. Would you want to set up near the inn or near the caravan headquarters?
an alley near the inn?
Okay. Well, there's really not an alley. This is such a small town. Literally, you have 4 buildings that make up the town. You have the 2 that are represented here.
Okay.
Then there's a temple. There's a small temple, which is where Father Maynard works. That's the reason why I had his name in my head. And the fourth structure is actually not in the town, but a short distance away, which is the Alistair Mansion.
Okay, I'll go ahead and set up on the edge of the caravan next to the inn.
Sure.
I low-key want to check into this Orange Veil to see what they're about.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And the caravan kind of gets set up, and the hawkers start doing their thing, and the dancers are doing their thing out in front. People are starting to mill about in the area, and you guys can hear the sounds of the music starting as you're approaching. So how do you want to approach this? Are we walking in, embracing everyone? Are we sneaking in?
I'm
What's our-
embracing everybody.
Of course you are. Warren's like, partake.
What's up, guys?
Also,
I'm here.
also realize that you are, as Dragonborn, you know you're going to be the freaking center of attention
Exactly.
anyway. Because they ain't never seen a thing
The
like
party
me.
is here, guys.
Yeah, I see you taking on the attitude of Robin Williams' version of the genie. Ain't you never had a friend like me.
Exactly. If they're gonna demonize me, I'm just gonna.
That's very funny.
Let's
They're
get
going to demonize you. Isn't that funny? That's very funny, isn't it? Oh, did you choose, are you Abyssal or Infernal?
Tiefling.
Tiefling?
You can be either or.
Let's go with Abyssal then.
Nice. That makes more sense with the chaos here. The Arentians would like you a lot. Matter of fact, during their deep parts of the festival, when they get like 3 days in, one of the things that they bring out are tears and terrors. They bring out the things that are sad about the past and more important, the things that are terrifying. And so they more than likely ask you to actually take off your hood, because more than likely they are aware of your background and helping to cover it.
Okay.
So during that part of the festival, they want you to actually
Show
show them what you got.
Got it.
But therefore, since it's going to be just, they'll everyone assume that's just part of your costume.
Yes.
It's an attraction.
Who
In a
actually
weird kind of way,
knows?
yes. They are in times for you. All right, so you're going in, embracing everybody, shaking hands, going, "I'm here for the party. Where's the beer?"
Sup? No. Call me V-Man.
Nice. And yourself?
Okay, so we got. What all do we got going on in the town? We've got him.
Well, this is a party. It's a traveling festival recognizing holy days. Ironically, during this period of time, Father Maynard will actually close the temple, put out signs saying keep off the grass and the whole 9 yards, because he's of White Veil, and White Veil and Orange Veil aren't exactly known to be close.
I am tailing Vorn and making sure that he is not like causing too much mayhem in the town.
That's smart.
Yeah, I'm
Bad
gonna go
track
for
record.
a drink.
Alrighty. So you're heading into the bar itself, or one of the outside elixirs? Because there's
outside easy.
the medicine men are out there basically saying this will cure what
Oh,
ails
snake
you.
oil people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a taco session.
So go ahead and make a perception check, each of you.
15.
12.
16.
3.
Okay, you notice her far before she notices you. Of course, she's being kind of coy. As you walk in, everyone is embracing and glad to see you, shake your hands, and of course, I can imagine you're quick, despite their reticence, to say, "Oh, and here's my friends, guys, come see these people." So
I'm just saying
yeah,
what's up.
yeah, they're rolling their eyes as you're
Exactly.
dragging them, kicking and screaming, so to speak, into this. But over in the corner, you see a woman she's got a little table set up. She's got the 3 cards out front. She's kind of lacklusterly moving them around, but she's not doing the shouting, the enticing thing you would expect to have at the first day of the festival.
Look at the babe with the horns in the sky.
No,
I
can't
don't
see
have
him.
one.
At this point, she's got a hood cut.
Oh.
No, she's
didn't
doing.
you say took the hood down?
No, she's got the hood up. No,
Oh, she
she's.
hasn't put it down yet?
Oh no.
Oh, I thought you said they
And I
asked
said,
her.
no, they ask her on day
Oh.
3,
Oh, okay.
further into this festival.
You trying to play a game over there? They
Vorn,
got a game set up. I love games.
you can handle yourself. No, you can't. What am I saying?
Let's go play a game.
I follow Vorin over to the little card table.
Okay, hand him over.
I got a percentile because
Oh, gee. Really?
I forgot it. I was up till like
Really?
6 in the morning.
The Dragonborn forgot his model again.
Hey, I've never forgot it. I just didn't have one at times.
There, yeah, you used to not have one, but then you had one, and then you didn't
And
bring
then
it.
he didn't have one.
I need to give me one of those little things I can put it in. You're the man. I owe you one. I give you. No, never mind. I changed my mind. Just said give you a BP, but he said never. He said never.
Never
do
give the GPUs. No, but as I always say, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and join the Patreon. That'll help me out more than anything else. So, and me either.
No, he's. Where'd you put yours?
Mine's right
Okay.
there.
Oh, that's his. I got
Yeah, the Warlock still hasn't done anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just
But
buying
my
some
model
words.
is right there.
Whoever's got a drink set up, I'll go grab one.
Okay, over by the wagon.
So they're in front of me now, right? I see them?
Yep, they come up to your table.
I go ahead and look up. So, how about a game, guys?
I love games. What kind of games you got here?
Very cool.
Just put some gold on the table and I'll show you.
Some gold.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tell me this math equation.
The bread.
I'm going to let the audience know that you guys can explain the bread equation. So you guys do the math for him.
One.
No, ask him the question. What's the first question you ask?
How much can you get 2 loaves of bread for?
In Nikos, in adventure
Nikos?
games, yeah, in
I'm
any
not
adventure
sure.
game. D&D says that a loaf of bread, 2 loaves of bread go for a copper piece.
A copper piece?
Mhm.
Okay. How about putting some copper on the floor? On the
Okay.
table.
Well, no, here the rest. Yeah, the rest. The equation. I'll go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and do it real quick. So if it costs, if you get 2 loaves of bread for a copper piece, about how long can you survive on bread? If all you had was bread and maybe a little bit of butter, how long could you technically live on bread?
A few months.
Ooh, he's optimistic. My bread usually goes bad in about 2 weeks
Okay.
because it'll
You're talking
melt
about
up.
that specific loaf.
Physical,
Okay,
yeah, that
cool.
specific loaf is going to last you about 2
A
weeks.
week, 2 weeks.
Now imagine, okay, and so the quick math is that in Nikos, 100 copper pieces make a silver, 100 silver pieces make a gold, 100 gold pieces make a platinum. How long, therefore, could you live on 2 loaves of bread? We said about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay, so if I have a gold piece, how long can you live?
I can't math. I'm going to say about 10,000 weeks.
That's
Long
almost exactly right. That's exactly right.
Time.
Okay.
That's 10,000 at 52 weeks a year. That's 100 years.
Got it.
Okay, so if you have a gold piece on Nikos,
You're rich.
you are in the 1%. You are a jet setter.
Okay.
So most characters start off with about 10 GPs of extra spending cash at the end, indicating that every player character, believe it or not, is in the 1%. You already don't have to adventure if you don't want to.
Got it.
So the reason you adventure has to be something more than just, I want to go for a walk.
About a gallon of health potions, which was like 32 health potions for 1 gold.
1 gold.
Okay, so the reason why I mentioned that is asking somebody to toss a gold piece on the table is saying, give me all your family's wealth.
Sell your house.
Now that's going to go. That's going to go on. There's going to be people here that are going to try to milk you dry of all your money, but generally speaking, realize that you don't want to break an economy by walking into a town, throwing a gold piece to the wench and saying, "Put up a tab," because she's going to take the gold piece, bite on it to make sure it's real, and she's out. She's done.
Got
She and her whole family are moving to Bermuda.
And
So-
I'm going to warn you, we met 2 people so far that are in tetrahedron schemes, which means when you buy something from them, the next time you buy it, it's double, and then double, and double.
So yeah, the idea of a pyramid scheme, only it's called a tet because it goes in multiple dimensions.
Got it.
All right. So that having been said, he rephrases and says, did I say gold? I meant copper.
How many copper, good sir, man?
How much can you afford?
Whoa.
I'll put 5 copper down.
Sounds
Okay.
good. I do my thing with my hands.
I am very closely watching and making sure that there's no like sleight of hand shenanigans going on.
Thank you.
Is this the
Sure.
Ball
It could
and
be.
cup?
It could be any game he wants it to be. He could be doing tarot readings as far as I'm concerned. I gave him a tarot deck. So.
Striking dragon's tail.
Yeah.
Just fitting. All you have to do is find it.
Sure.
Music in the
I'm
background.
going to give you an advantage.
Wow.
This one.
They're all striking dragons still, aren't they?
Yay! He just won 5 gold to go 5 silver off of you. Woo! Okay, shuffle them up. Do it again.
Sounds good.
Because this is how it works. He's going to let the 10 ride, of course, because you're going to
Of
go,
course.
oh, that was so
Double or
easy.
nothing.
You're going to double
Double or
it again.
nothing.
Double or
good.
nothing. I'm not. See, if you go to Vegas, This is a
Okay.
tip for
So
y'all
now,
at
if you
home.
want to, so now if you want to make your sleight of hand check, you can.
Okay, let's do that.
So you roll the dice for the sleight of hand. If you succeed, you take the dragon out, put a third card in. He doesn't notice. He'll never find it again.
20 with my.
Okay. So you put up 3 cards. You do it again. Go ahead, pick.
Go ahead.
You're just going double on the 10.
I'm just gonna pick a random one.
All right, sounds
Right.
good. It's not
You
it.
flip. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? That's really not right. Let me. And he shows you the card again, and now make another check.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mosey up as
Yeah.
they're doing it. I'm gonna make my way over there.
Yeah, carry your. Did you
I'm
buy
already
sets
down
for you
5
and everybody else? or
pieces.
just
Would
for
you like to
Just
try?
Vorn, I'm going to hold on to my.
Okay, so
Actually,
the
He said no, but I'll throw
Argentines
another
use
five.
their mug, their tourist mug is an
Never doubt the
oversized
ability of a
orange.
chronic fool.
orange.
Yeah, so it holds a quart,
So why are you guys
So-
in town today?
but it's the size. It looks like an orange
From the
outside.
looks of this town to party.
Very cool.
Actually, no. I would have.
For
I
the
would have
festival?
buy all
Oh,
of
yeah.
Stay much?
all of
Something
them.
like that.
All the three. Your
The two
friends.
of them, yeah.
You get my friends
Okay,
into
he
trouble.
comes walking over, going, "Can I get some help here?" He's holding 3 monstrous size. They look like fishbowl size glasses that are made to look like oranges.
Awesome.
Here, take one. I got each one of us one. They're 20.
Yeah.
They're 50% off on refills.
Let's toast in there. Chug it.
Light sips.
Are they?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Are they leaving the coin on the table as they're betting?
Sure.
There's no coin on the table anymore. I took it.
No,
Oh,
you
you-
put
you-
another
no.
5.
Yeah, I
Right?
took it.
Oh.
Okay, so
You
you're.
took the other 5 again?
Yeah, without him noticing because he has something in his hand.
Nice. So he's totally. He's beyond stealing. He's stealing.
That's fine. What?
I'll assume that none of us saw that one.
No.
What happened?
So the
No, I know, but I'm just saying my character. I just drunk and
right. So make
What?
your check. Constitution save only a 10.
I failed.
That's
Wow. This you're
You're
like
solid 2.
Lightweight.
You're no, not only that. You're impressed because remember that other place you drank the guy under the table.
How did you do that, man? Here's another 5 gold. Do
Sounds
it again.
good.
Another 5 gold.
I mean, thank you, copper, 5 copper.
Bet your
Thank you.
life savings and that's
Bet the farm.
To be fair,
I said some people do that. I didn't realize how badly alcohol affected
I
them.
would say to be fair, I'm drunk. It could have happened.
So as he's
Wisdom
drinking, I'm going to try to
save.
swipe the copper again.
Well, I drank.
You're gonna attempt to swipe it.
Well, I chugged.
From the table.
I chugged the one and then just put the 5.
Okay,
Like,
so you are an effective grifter.
Yes.
Why would you break grifting for theft?
Sounds good. You're
so
right.
go ahead and play the cards
Sounds
out because
good.
you know he's not going to win,
Sounds good.
right? So
Yes.
as long as you make your check, so you got to make your check.
Is this a check?
see if he puts a
This
real
is
card.
sleight of hand
Yeah.
for him. You can use inspect to try to catch him at.
Is that perception
7.
or investigation?
Yours is investigation.
You get 7.
Oh shit. No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
It's
So the
11.
problem here is that when you did it, you didn't actually get the card out. So you're actually playing now live. So go ahead and put it up.
Sounds good.
Do the 3 with the actual dragon card. Shuffle him up because he doesn't get.
Big money, no
Oh,
winning.
he's not even looking, right?
Right,
No, I did. I drank and then put the coins down and
Okay.
just like.
Okay.
No. So I said
No.
yes.
There. Now see now you're sliding your
Got
coin legitimately.
I'm down.
I'm sorry, you can't help that.
You know I'm
And
down.
then once
15.
again, you're going to reveal the card,
Sounds good.
and then you're going to shuffle again, and now you can keep playing as
No,
long
so-
as you're being legitimate about the setup.
I'm down
But
15.
he's watching you like a hawk. So every time you play, he's got a chance to check
Got
it. So go ahead and make your check.
Well, I'm not playing again.
Oh, you go no, you
I
lost.
was gonna say I'm
You're
down,
down 20.
15 gold.
20.
15
No.
copper.
No,
You're
or
down-
15 copper. I keep saying that.
Yeah, you're down 15 of your copper, right? Because
Yeah.
5 of it was his.
So I'm down in a little buzz, man. I'm done with this game.
Are you going to try it? Or
No.
Try it, man.
3 losses in a row. Why?
I'll tell you what. If you try it, I'll drink that drink because I know you don't want it.
I slowly slide
Reluctantly.
5 copper over
Try one
to
more
you.
time.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get him to play 10. So
So you can try to. What's that?
Ante up.
it's
No,
a
no, no,
performance,
no. It's
right?
intimidate or persuade.
Persuade.
Okay, so you make your persuasion check, you make your bluff check, your insight check.
19.
That is a natural 1.
He puts 20.
Sounds reasonable. Here's 5 more.
Ah, yes, of course.
So now I do my sleight check, right?
Now you're doing your slight check, and he gets to
I'm
make
gonna
his
do the you got a
insight check.
hiccup. You got this. I'm
That
a
was
hiccup in the middle.
only 5.
Oh, you got caught.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 16.
Yeah.
But no, he rolled a 5. So you actually drop the dragon on the ground, and you go ahead and lay out the other
from
3.
my sleeve. Okay.
Right, yeah. And even you drunk, looking down, going, what's that card on the ground? You saw it
Hey
fall.
man, what's this?
You know what this is.
So as she's passing the cards out and drops it, I'm gonna grab her hand.
Uh-huh.
Say, hey, you're looks as if you dropped the cards.
You dropped your dragon.
That is the wrong accent. Dude,
I believe I'll be
you're a little
taking
drunk.
this back as I just snatch my 10 copper back.
But gentlemen, we're ladies and gentlemen, we were just playing.
Clearly something not illegitimate is going on here.
I trusted you.
We never discussed the rules, did we?
Ah.
Semantics. I like it.
fair. I'll let her go.
These damn.
I believe that is
Goran will remember this.
I don't think he will, sir.
Probably
As I
not.
smile
At the
him.
rate that you are drinking
You
alcohol.
just slammed the second one, so
That's
go
what I'm
ahead and
saying,
make
probably
your,
not.
make your contract.
Yeah, you
this
barely
time.
did.
This time it's a 15 because you're already under it.
18.
Okay. Second one is like he burps and little bubbles start coming out of his mouth while he's talking.
I think I'm used to this now.
So you guys don't want to play anymore? You guys are gonna walk out? Just leave a girl high and dry?
I'll tell you what, you give me 5 copper. I'm guessing that I'm thinking of a number. If you get it right, you win.
It's a new game entirely.
What do I win?
Your money back. You win.
I
5
have
copper.
your money.
5 copper.
Way to go! Way to go! You might want to walk him away. Because pretty soon she's gonna have all his money.
Vorin, it's time for you to lie down.
You know, I trust you. You're
Okay.
an old wise woman.
I have
No,
to-
nice. Heavy on the old. That's good.
Did I see where she put her?
I'm gonna just hold on to her shoulder.
Where she was putting.
I'm drunk.
More than
Where are
likely,
we
you
going?
would
Just
have seen it.
stumbling back to the
I have
inn.
to look
Where
at
are we
this
going?
spell real quick because I think this is confusing.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna run real quick, guys.
Okay.
Don't talk about me too bad if you watch still on camera.
We're gonna plot against
Yeah,
them.
I'll
I was
go
gonna
watch.
say.
I'll go watch someplace else. I'll be right back.
We're gonna plot against them.
Alright, so it says make sure the DM knows everything right there, but alright,
Cut the
plotting
string.
time.
Cut the string.
Cut the string. You saw nothing.
I have a great idea.
Oh no.
You always have great ideas.
I also have a new spell. I got rid of one to pick this one up. We're gonna try.
I'm gonna start a fire.
I just don't know how it works.
You
So
know-
when he was talking about the Infernal and the...
I was wondering that too because
I
I
didn't find it.
because I knew it meant tiefling, but like I think there's a sub race in something. Let me
Oh,
look.
that he's talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought tiefling was defined by like an infernal heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's in another one as well.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm back.
We have
Alright.
successfully spoiled the ending to all of your campaigns.
Why
and
did you
everyone
coach
on
us?
stream.
Oh, now we spoiled everything?
Yeah.
Not possible.
Oh.
None of you know enough to spoil it. Unless, of course,
This
the
is
whole point is
absolutely true.
yeah.
All right. So while this is all going on, I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant
Uh huh.
behind him, her, and I'm gonna have him.
You actually could cast it anywhere. It's an unseen servant.
I know. Well, I want to put it behind her.
Well, they can walk back there.
Yeah. Okay. Or make it go back there behind her, to lift to steal the coin purse.
Okay, so you're stealing the whole bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The only thing I'm not for sure.
Can I start? I want to start talking.
Oh, no, you're
I
still
can't-
talking.
No,
No,
I'm leading
Yeah.
you away
Oh,
from
okay.
this
No,
table.
no, you guys are arguing. So this is the whole
Okay.
conversation you were having because he was technically he was looking in the book, but he would have already known how to do
And
it.
can
So
I not see the servant either?
It's an
It's
unseen
unseen
servant.
servant.
Only
Yeah.
you, right?
As the name would imply.
Invisible, mindless, shapeless force that can perform simple tasks at your command. Until its spell
What's its
ends.
carry weight?
10
pounds.
AC of 10, 1 hit point, strength of 2.
Strength of 2, so that gives it like 40 pounds. Okay, I'll make sure. All right, so
It doesn't have any other stats, so if I want to do it into like a sleight of hand.
no, you're not. It's doing a brute force thing. It's actually picking up the bag and carrying it. So there's a chance. There's the only thing that you have a chance of is that he'll hear the coins.
Okay. Yeah, I just
So
wanted
as
it
it-
just to be
it
like.
just no, it would just actually it's the strength of 2 brute. It's just I'm gonna do what
Yeah.
you take. So you use it to open doors and iron your shirts and that kind of thing. So what you use it for normally. So having it walk away with the bag is not a difficult thing. It's just whether or not he happens to hear it. So because he's distracted, I'll give him disadvantage on the check. So it's going to be an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Cool.
And it's going to be, what's your DC?
For my spell DC is
Yeah.
14.
As a player, I believe in you. As my character,
Yes,
I want
14.
you to lose.
10.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're talking, you're not going to notice for
Yeah.
even as they walk away, you won't notice until you go turn around and you realize your entire bag. That includes all of your coins. So when they open it here in a second and see that they've got gold, they're going to freak out because now this is big time theft they just pulled off.
So as it,
We're robbing.
I'm gonna
us.
make him go around the corner, where around the corner
Right.
of the tavern,
Actually,
whatever.
let's not
Yeah.
knock out
Meet
your
up with it.
plans.
Take the
Ha! We
coin.
got him.
But your instinct is to open it, to look inside, just because you
Not immediately. I was a pirate.
Okay.
I want to make sure that nobody's around
Okay.
before I check it. Yeah. It's just I'll check
I'm
my
with
loot later.
Ayula. Wherever Ayula goes, she's
Yeah.
keeping me standing.
Cheating a cheater.
Let's go.
Okay. So, but you realize it's the only people who've been to your table, and
Well, I could see the bag floating, right?
that was the reason why he waited.
Okay.
Because you normally would put it behind you, you drop it in behind, because as
Got
you
you.
took it
That's
from
why
the
he's
table,
behind me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and
so
he
you
wasn't
wouldn't
behind
see
you.
it walk
He
away.
sent an invisible person, an
Got it,
unseen
got it.
servant, and that unseen servant grabbed your bag and carried it off while you were being distracted by these two arguing in front of your booth.
Got it.
But as soon as they're gone, you're like,
no,
look
no,
around and
no.
go,
I said copper, not gold.
Now that there's
Must
nobody
be my
around,
imagination.
now I'll check it.
okay, so you guys are around here in the corner checking it. You realize that they did go around that side of the building, but you don't know where they are. And now you how many coins did you have all total?
14 gold and 15 copper.
Holy crap! You are
You have stolen someone's
Life
lifetime savings.
You just hit Bill Gates' account.
What do I drop over here? Don't
No,
erase yours yet, because this might go differently in a minute.
yes. So
Asterisk.
he opens it up. He's going to be in shock because I mean you guys don't even normally see gold other than the gold that you actually got out of your houses, which you haven't gotten yet, by the way. Your actual this is in the past. This is before you've left on your adventure and taken your family's, your share of the birthright or whatever. So
Okay, Let's just
none
say
of you have your own
So-
cash.
So
Since this is in the past, I wouldn't be a level 3 yet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So none of this would have happened because I wouldn't have had this spell at that time. Because I got this, I picked the spell up after we leveled up.
That's fine.
I didn't think
That's
about
fine.
that.
That's
Let's
fine.
just say it.
It's just gonna stay. Yeah, I'm okay with it being
and I,
Okay.
I need at least a couple copper just to gamble with them. So let's say
because I think
20
Mage Hand
copper.
is level 1,
It's level and cantrip, yeah, but I don't
and
know.
and Mage Hand could do it because it's less than 5 pounds in a bag anyway.
Yeah.
Because even with you said it was 30 coins roughly,
15.
No.
No.
29 coins
So
total.
29.
so 29 coins. Even with his 15, it would be weighed down, but it could actually pull it off with a
It's
Mage.
dragging it.
No, it's just literally would only been able to pick it up and bring it straight to you. So you would have literally, because of the heaviness, it would have dropped lower to the ground and passed out of his line of sight directly to you.
Yeah, okay.
And then your departure would have made more sense because as you're leaving by, they're going, well, we should go.
Let's go.
So you're over here now. You look at it, you realize, like I said, you got somebody's lifetime income.
Well, boys, it appears that maybe she was a better cheater than we thought. I'll just
You're gonna follow them, or
Oh,
you?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for water for this idiot. Like
Water and bread.
Well, you're near the end. There's a well around on that side of the building. So. Okay.
So I see him because he's particularly big, right? And stands out.
Dragon Ball.
Well,
It's
they're
hard
more than
to-
likely standing in the shadow of the well supports
Okay.
that pull the water, so they're probably just standing there. You probably put the bag down on the edge of the well and is looking in the coins,
Yeah, we've opened it up and kind of rifled through it, and then
you hear the crunch of the gravel behind you.
put it back up.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up towards them, and I think
You're
you have
concealing the
something
bag
in
now?
mind.
Do what?
You're concealing the bag
Mhm.
then. Okay. So he's like put his hands behind it.
Yeah. I can I see if I see that?
Sure.
So that's perception, right?
Yeah, that would be perception.
12.
Give me a roll of
You
sleight.
saw? Yeah, you can go for sleight of hand to try to hide it.
He saw it 10.
Yeah. So, just like you saw the earlier action, he's like, yeah.
Just saw me throw my coat away as I'm putting something in there.
So, I see that you might have something of mine.
Last we checked, we agreed that the game was done. We didn't know the rules. Everything
Yeah,
should
this
be.
is part of the game.
Judging
We
by-
didn't discuss the rules.
Judging by the way you play your games, this isn't your money either.
But I think it is.
If you've cheated your way into the money, does it make it your money? If so, it's my money now. Because I cheated my way into it.
Good point.
There's a tense moment where they almost. Okay, sounds good to me.
Let me think here. So, gentlemen, let's come to an agreement then. Let's go ahead and hit the reset button. I give your friend back his money, you give me back my money. Everything's whole.
We try to be friends in a different way.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and try persuasion.
That works. Try to persuade.
I would say, to be fair, he gets a lot more out of this dude. We get 15 copper.
A 9.
No, we don't know how much he stole.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
actually, they don't even.
I
know
haven't
that he
counted
stole
it yet.
no, they
Oh,
don't even.
shit.
They don't even quite understand.
What's going on?
That
The
one. That
confusion.
one certainly doesn't.
Yeah,
this
it
one's
was in
more
the
concerned
web.
with this one. But what I was going to say is that the real issue here is that you should totally play up a sob story on how that gold means everything to you, and it's everything I had in the world. I left home because of the great horrible loss of my lover and all of that. Tell them your backstory, build it up, and that way
Why
they
did
then
I
have to
drink
make
mine? Why
a
did I
check
give
to
that
not be
to
affected
you?
by it. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
To be
So-
fair, the first one.
And rather than
got
depending on a
me.
single roll
Second
from
one,
you, make it
this
so
is
they have to
good.
depend on a triple roll from them.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, so each one of you has to make a insight check as she's telling this horrible story
Will
how
I be
her
at
lover
disadvantage
died.
for my drinks, yeah.
Yes.
I low key won.
Oh no, in character, I feel like Ayula would just.
Immediately accept it.
Yes,
Not care,
like
yeah.
You're right. Give her back her money.
these people are suffering shock. How could you have stolen
I
from
rolled
her?
12, yeah.
Yeah. So split it. You could actually argue for a little bit of
You
it.
said
'cause
insight?
you taught her a new lesson.
You
Therefore,
said-
she should have to pay you a small smidgen for your
Is it
efforts.
insight?
Yes.
At disadvantage, I got modified 20.
What?
I rolled an 18 and a 19.
You're not putting one over on a dragon board.
Hey man, I know what you're trying here.
Hey, good work.
Vorin, have a heart.
So, I'll take the 15. Is the 15 copper what his money was?
Yeah.
So I'll take the 15 copper out, pitch it back to him.
Thanks, man.
I'll take the 4 gold, and I'll throw it back. Throw you the 10.
You pocket the 4.
40%?
It's a hefty
Man!
tax.
Lucky wasn't 60.
Harsh.
Let this be a lesson to you.
It's only because
You're going to
only because your persuasion was so low.
Yeah. And that's fine. I go ahead and smile at him. I'll go ahead and walk away, but keep my eye on him.
Yeah.
Unseen servant.
Also realize
Sorry, people
realize
take
that
the
you've
money
been
right.
looking for kindred spirits.
Yes.
So even though you're quote thinking about walking away, this could actually be the break you've been looking for. So you would be out of the, what do you say, the clutches or the, because they're charging you close to 40% every day on the
At
From the
carnival.
caravan, yeah.
Caravan.
I was gonna say we could tell him like, hey, you get a pretty good act. Why don't you
That's where I was gonna go with it.
join us? You're pretty good at being sneaky.
We're not a bunch of charlatans,
We're a
Vorin.
bunch of a lot
no,
of.
but we
Almost my
need one.
background.
But we need one.
Exactly.
We're not a bunch of charlatans,
Been
but
a
one would be
charlatan,
nice.
a dog killer, an underwear sniffer.
Is that right? Yeah, right. I think that's
Dog
right.
killer. I have
That's right.
killed one.
All
yet.
right.
Must be
Right.
grudgingly admitted.
We have a drunk, a charlatan, a dog attacker, and an underwear sniffer. And a
But the underwear sniffer's not here.
no, but I'm just saying our party in general. He will fit in.
We may
perfectly.
not be the most scrupulous.
Okay, so if you're gonna go with that as your analogies, then it would come down to somebody's gonna have to be the
He could be the straight
peeping
man.
Tom. No, you need somebody for eyes. You need somebody for eyes eventually.
I'm still walking away, waiting for them
Okay.
to call me back.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I will have thrown you the 4.
Right, and
Not the 4.
10.
Yeah, the 4. The 10 gold because I took 4. Yeah.
The 80% tax.
And I'll just say you've got a nice trick. However, you need to work on your hands. You're a little sloppy. Let this be lesson to you.
So I get it, smile at him, start walking away.
Or are you gonna say you're can use a hand? Want to join us?
I'm gonna call her back. I'm gonna call you back. But hey,
hey you.
hey, as
Hey,
I'm
you,
still
it's
like
you.
washing my face. Hey, you. Mir,
Yes.
I like what you did back there. I think it would be nice if you
Stole other people's money. and
joined
used
us.
it.
Yeah, joined us on the adventure and use your evil for the good of the party.
Sounds
evil?
For the good of the party.
Yeah, evil.
Stealing is definitely evil.
It'll cost you 15 copper though.
All right, but I'm gonna put it on a tab that I'll pay back eventually.
Sounds good.
So I owe him 15 copper one day.
You just want walking money. I got you. All right.
Warren, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Disaster.
How was it the disaster? I'm now 4 gold.
Nice. I got drunker, he got richer,
Gotta play on the
and we
pirate
got a
little
new
bit.
party member. I think that was a win in my book.
All I will say is if you follow with us,
And you
we'll
got a
carry
little
your weight.
wiser.
This message true.
Everybody's winning.
So where is it from here, gentlemen?
just a second.
Oh.
What I'm gonna do
I
is
feel like Jesus.
since that was pretty smooth, what we will do is we will then move back to the present. You're the only one that's been at your quote low level, if you will. I'll put them back inside the physical tunnels, and they will explain why they're down party members and why you get added
Cool.
back in. That way we don't have to lose any time on the actual story, but I just wanted to have some kind of a feeling for how you would work with the group. and all
Got
that.
it.
So I'm not sure. In Nikos, would it be plausible to say that our party members just like disappeared? And then, like, maybe
Well,
they-
no, that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
they'll reappear?
No, okay. We know that they're down here with you
They
someplace.
just got lost.
It could have been a passage could have collapsed and you got separated, that kind of a thing. I'm trying to remember. You need to tell me where we were mechanically.
We were in that one corner area where there was like all the sparkling rock because we had just finished fighting
By the
those
silver
dwarves.
cube maker.
Okay, so by the cube maker. Okay, we're still by the cube maker.
But in
Gotcha.
the room
Yep, we
off
were-
the side of it.
You got the map. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, we were in this room.
We slaughtered
Which
a bunch
was,
of dwarves.
being-
and
Go
we
ahead
were
and
prison.
what you can do is just send that to my email.
Okay.
Or not to my email, but to my Facebook account.
We
Okay.
have one of the dwarves prisoner, I'm pretty sure. Or he
I think
he
Messenger
surrendered.
allows you to attach things.
Yeah,
So just
that's
send,
what I was looking for.
send me the picture, that way I can have it to look at and we'll be good to go. And, all right, so while we are doing that, the quick version of the catch-up for those of you that are in the stream, the adventures themselves are currently in old number 1.
I have a
Yes,
question.
room 1.
Yeah.
So let's say from when we met him to now, how long would have passed?
Just a few months.
A few months. Let's say I gave him the 15 gold in that time. Because since we're now back. Or
No, I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is that he's tracked you to come get his 15 copper.
all right. Perfect.
Because that kind of a link. Okay, so I'll give you a comparison. My buddy Dave and I have known each other for years. When we first started playing role play games, I had a small table that we were playing out in our backyard, and it wasn't any fun. We wanted more room because we were playing 40K and things like that. So he says, "Why don't we buy a ping pong table? We'll go in on it together." So we found one for $50. He put $25 down on it, and I put the other $25 down on it. We bought the table. That was almost 20 years ago. Neither one of us has ever let go of our half of the table, even though the table's long gone. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We always have this $25, you owe me, no, you owe me kind of thing about the other half of the table.
Whoever took the tables. Like,
So this 15 copper piece is going to be like an anchor between the two of you, like forever. Cause,
Like, don't worry, you'll get your
yeah,
15.
look, I don't want the 15. I just need to borrow 7 to buy dinner, and then I'll get that back to you. That makes it 25. Yeah, whatever. So,
By the end of the campaign, I own 1 gold piece.
Maybe.
A hefty amount.
Just the debt, just wrapping it up. No, I got you. I promise. I promise.
We're running juice. So.
I got you. Don't worry.
Okay, so we're in the room with the scintillating wall.
Yes.
You just killed off the dwarves, right?
Except for one of them who has surrendered.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. Do you have his name, or do I need to give you his name?
We did not get a name, I don't think.
I do not have a name written down.
Oh,
I know we had just
Yeah, I'm not sure if we got names for the dwarves.
surprise.
you do still have the ladder.
Yes, I definitely broke the ladder. I meant that before.
Yeah, we had set it down in the room and then lured them in and laid waste.
Okay, so the guy that you have left, let me grab my. And this is for Uriel and for the viewers. This is Nikos, the games world. You can get a better picture of the map from the Patreon website, but the reason why I just showed you that just an idea that the story is rather expansive. Currently, I'm running 6 days a week, and every one of the stories is concurrent in the same world, and so things that players do in one adventure tend to affect the others. For example, 6 weeks ago, time went backwards for 12 days. That was one party literally caused the problem, and another party fixed it. So, but anyway, so the guy that you have found, the dwarf's name is.
When we're like the Infinity War session, where like all the sessions just meet up.
I'm okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. As a warning, put it on your calendar. The weekend of New Year's, so January, either the 1st or the 2nd, I am going to hold a convention called Clueless Con. It's going to be all of my Nikos campaigns ever, and invite everybody to come, and we'll do a massive game session, and you get to meet everybody that's played in all the other
I'm
sessions.
so down because we're probably like 60 people.
Right now I have 74 players.
That's
Everyone
awesome.
is here.
All told through time, I've GM'd for 1,200 people or more.
Like out of
107 of them at one time.
in combat's gonna take an hour per turn.
Well, that's why I invented Cadre. So no, it doesn't.
Oh, you're gonna use that system?
We'll use Cadre for
I'm
the
down.
actual.
I'm gonna have to come check that out.
Yeah.
Before we
So anyway, the guy you discovered, his name is Ryger.
Riker.
Ryger.
Do I know this?
You more than likely actually know Ryger.
Okay.
You've been working as so you are old one, packed old one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been working. You've been getting leads and information about that necklace you're wearing, that have led you to work with an organization known as the Warren Commission. And the Warrens actually have dispatched you to come and check on the operation going on in Old Number 1, and in particular, Ryger has been your connection.
Okay.
So when you get to the cavern entrance, you make the first couple of turns and you don't see Ryger at his usual post. Curious about that, you've wandered a little further in and you come to a place where one of the mining walls is in an enclosed area with a door. Uncharacteristically, that door is currently closed.
Okay.
And you do hear Ryger's voice feebly saying, "Parlay!"
Grant me mercy or grant me death.
Exactly.
What's going on?
If you must kill me, kill me. So you're approaching the door. Go ahead and make perception check, everybody else, to hear him. Because he's not trying to stealth, but he's not very noisy either.
18.
Yeah, you're already kind of skittish anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear another set of footsteps after we just ambushed this group of gnome dwarves.
Standing by the door,
21.
just waiting for whatever it is to walk in.
Okay, so you also heard it. So all of a sudden the room goes quiet, but Ryger takes an opportunity and goes, "Help! Help! They're keeping me captive!" He shrugs at you guys like, "What are you gonna do?"
They're behind the door. I
Yeah.
go towards the sound.
Yeah,
So-
you come to the door, you hear Ryger's voice behind it. "Help! Help! They're holding me captive.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to pry the door open with my
Oh, you
crowbar.
didn't. You don't even have to. You push it open.
Oh, I push it
Creaky
open.
door.
Okay. And what do I see?
Make a perception check.
Behind the door.
No, I know.
21.
Yeah, you don't see the person behind the door, but because of the dim light that you're carrying, there is a slight silhouetted line of an axe at about height, just above your head level, because you're holding it like you're ready to bring it down on it. It's a glaive, right?
Glaive, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've kind of got, yeah.
Not that it's not only that you're packed to the blade, so it's actually magical.
Oh, at this point, yeah.
So it's glowing.
Okay.
So all the stealth in the world does not help when your weapon glows.
It's like a lightsaber.
Yeah, it just, well, it's not, it's just, it gets banished into, like, I don't know, like an alternate, like, pocket.
I'm just saying. It
Back-
changes
back.
the way light works. Is all I'm meaning.
Would I have seen him cross the threshold yet?
No, he's actually stopped at the threshold because he saw your shadow, but at the same time, you saw his silhouette at the door.
So I'm just waiting. Anybody else?
Since he actually more than likely once again wasn't quite paying attention, just like this, like turns around and you see Saturnine, which you haven't seen in months, standing in the doorway.
Oh, hey.
What's up?
You come to join us?
Fancy meeting you here.
Oh. Not actually hitting, stopping.
Yeah, stop.
Oh, what's halfway here?
Riker goes, "You know these guys?"
Most definitely.
Oh
At
shit!
once.
This is one of my
Damn it!
buddies.
He goes back to the position because he was thinking he was going to get rescued. He's like,
Gotcha.
Damn it!
So what's going on here?
You know.
They killed them all.
Yes.
See all the bodies laying around?
Okay, I see all the bodies.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, they're stacked up. Four of them. Four of them
Dead
stacked up
dwarfs.
like dead wood in the corner.
I think there's an extra one because we killed the one that ran in.
Yeah, that was 4. First one that came in, we killed,
So
and then
5
4 poured in afterwards.
I want to say that they struck first, but they
They did not. They just tried to mess with the mouse.
So what am I doing for the Warren Commission?
No, you were officially working for the Warren Commission as a warlock,
Gotcha.
because they have connections with forces beyond this realm. You know that it has something to do with the space from which your old one comes, but you don't know anything really about even your own old one at this point. You're so new to it, you haven't even really been contacted like you will at third.
Gotcha.
You will at third.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing here, gentlemen? I directed Ashar.
We are here investigating whatever magics are coming out of here with the wagons of the hectagonal prisms, or no, septagonal. Right?
Septagonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, there's a whole like
Septagonal columns. So it's 7-sided on the end, but they're equilateral, so it's 7-sided object.
Okay.
and they're getting transported from somewhere inside this mine down the road. They get placed into the road, and the caravan that's moving them just disappears after the last ones.
And of course, you know absolutely nothing about any of that because you've been involved completely on the other end, making sure that the operation bringing weapons into this camp
Got it.
have been successful. You've been tracking inventory stuff on massive amounts of armaments coming into this location, coming from old number 1.
Got it.
We are trying to figure out where the gates or whatever it is that these wagons are coming from.
Well, 15 still owes me, so do you mind if I tag along?
Sure.
The good news is that it'll give
Yeah.
you quick information on the Warren Commission because I'll have to fill him in, which will fill you in because it's
Yeah.
pass-through information pretty much.
I would not have a problem with it. What is your business with these dwarves?
So I'm going to go ahead and tell them about the weapons coming in.
So, the full version of the story is that the Warrens have a deal with the Grolim that live up on the mountain. long ago there was a war between the Grolem and humankind in this valley, and they fought over this Blackstone Ridge, this very mountain ridge. And at one point during the war, several of the mines were actually being held by the Grolem, and they found literally a cavern into someplace else, for lack of a better term. And they made an arrangement to move weaponry through that passage. If they didn't have to carry all the stuff up the mountain, because those caravans were getting constantly harried by the human warriors. Since they were no longer having to do that, they were able to move them into these caves. But whoever it is they were working with in the cave exacted a fairly high price, in that whenever they made a trade, the caravan wagons could only go one way into the mountain, never to return. So the crews of the vessels basically had to get paid exorbitant amounts because they were never coming back from the rides. They didn't know where they were going, but it was no questions asked. Weapons were going in and piles of gold were coming back. So the Grolem no longer had to go to war with humanity, and the war ended. So everyone thought everything's fine, there is no warfare going on. For the Grolem, it never ended. They've been constantly being extorted by this otherly force. The only way that anybody else got involved is that the Warren Commission actually captured the other end of that gate. And so now the Warrens have basically inserted themselves as mediator between the two sides, and they're basically making bank off of both.
Got it.
He's been monitoring this only because the passageway goes through a place known as the Void, and the Void is the place where the voice calls to you from.
Got it.
And these weapons.
He doesn't know anything about them. He just knows mechanically that they are weapons and that they are not from around here. Let's put it that way.
The silver cubes or what? Yes, right.
Either that or
The
the
things in the
septagonal
boxes.
tiles.
Actually, no. We have two different stories going on in this
Oh,
valley.
Yeah.
Two
A
different.
mine with a lot of history.
This goes back to, remember when I set it up and there was the big mountain in the distance? And he goes,
Yes.
well, that's level 10 and this is level 7 and that over there's level 4. He wasn't far off. There are so many things going on that you've basically stumbled into another complete series of adventures.
Ah.
Another adventure hub.
Well, right. So you can choose when you guys are all reconvened, when everybody's back together after this adventure, you can decide whether you want to continue to pursue this specific line or downshift to something a little more pedantic or
I find that
Slides.
rather shallow, but
yeah. So anyway, so old number 1 apparently is the key to the storyline you're on, and only tangential to the storyline he was basically set upon. So, but you as a collective can choose which of them you want to pursue, and there's always more information you can gather. So, just a quick note for your reel and for the audience: the storylines of Nikos intertwine and span not only physical dimensions but temporal ones. So you can actually find stuff in the adventure that ties to things that happened 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, 6,500 years ago, etc.
Okay.
And some of them are still active.
So we're gonna kill this guy, guys?
Right, Raker goes, but we only became friends, and I asked for parley. Please don't kill me.
can we like pat him down and see what if he's got like a coin purse or anything?
Oh my god.
Yep, he's got 20. He has 25 copper pieces and 1 gem.
A gem?
Mhm.
Do you know what that is? Is that like worth something? Or just something you sell, or
What kind of gem is it?
Roll a d10 for him.
10. Or no, sorry, I think that's 1 actually. Yeah, 1.
1. Okay, it's like a piece of charcoal. It's just shiny.
So it's like onyx or
Yeah, if it's onyx,
What's
but
it?
it's kind of smoky.
kind of smoky.
Yeah. So the it's shiny, but it's black. But the blackness itself is kind of not
Just
quite
another-
black.
just another thing to identify? We
Yeah.
want to take it.
Said you'll take it?
Sure. I was saying if you want to take it, 'cause
No,
you
you
got
can
the
take
other.
What we
should
need
make
is information, and we have a source of it right here.
smoky.
Exactly.
Exactly.
stone.
Oh, you're talking about him.
Sorry.
Ugh, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what use he could serve.
For starters, what are those silver cubes that you were producing?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's depends.
On what?
I guess you'd have to say that it's magic.
Well, that part is obvious. What is its purpose?
It's magic.
Magic being used for.
Whatever you use magic for.
It in itself is magic.
That's what I said, and I'm trying to think of any other way to say it.
Yeah.
It's magic. We process it. We put it in the boxes. We don't even know how the machine works, but it works here.
Do you know your way through the mines?
I know how to get back to. I know how to get back to Roxburgh.
But you don't know all these passages and all that?
What about these?
Why would I have to know them all? I only come here to do work.
To survive. Us. To be useful to us and survive.
Sorry, I can tell you how to get to Roxburgh from here.
I'm not even sure what
Roxburgh?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what Roxburgh is.
That's where I'm from.
Roxburgh. Is that deeper into this mine?
No, it's outside the surface.
And what's located in Roxburgh?
Let's see. There would be the Temple of the White Veil run by Father Maynard. There would be the the inn known as what do you call it? Buffalo Scrollers Inn. Short.
What was the this is the town we were just at?
Branbury.
Banbury.
No, I don't know where Banbury is.
It's the same town. He just calls it something else.
Yeah. One thing that he mentions that sounds odd is he talks about the rectory of St. Alistair.
The rectory? Would that be his mansion?
Oh, it's just a small hovel. The temple's massive, but the house, his actual living structure is really small.
Do you know how to get in to the temple or living structure?
Well, he lives in an open. He has an open door policy. As a matter of fact, his hovel doesn't even have a door.
Hmm. Okay.
That is not what we have.
He
His
says,
house
and the most important thing to note is that in the vestibule of the temple is the statue known as the Eyes of Cabal.
So, it's not a mansion with a tower that spins.
No, but the tower turns. I mean, not the tower. The statue turns.
The Eye of Cabal is the statue.
Yeah.
When was the last time you've seen Alistair in person?
A couple weeks ago.
What about either of the Ophelias?
What, you talking about the Sisters of the Veil?
Yes.
I won't know their names.
When was the last time you've seen them?
They're both there. They were both there yesterday.
And what veil would that be?
The Grey Veil of All.
Have you passed through a type of gate? Or is
No, I just came through the entry.
which entry?
Oh, the Storm Cellar.
Storm cellar?
Oh, that's what we call it. Yeah, it's a storage facility where we keep the gear because we have to change clothes when we leave.
I think I know what's going on. I just don't know how to get it.
And you said
I believe that
sisters-
he might be from one of these other
iterations.
iterations.
But you don't want to say that in front of them.
Yeah.
You
And the new guy, Saturn doesn't even know what you're talking about, so it's
just
probably best to do that when you're not talking in front of
I
them.
just want to clarify to the dwarf. You said the Ophelia sisters run the Grey Veil, or just
There's
part
no,
of the
I
Grey
don't know,
Veil?
I don't know that name. They're just the two Sisters of the Veil.
Yes.
And they run it.
He's not
No.
from this time or plane or
Careful, don't be talking about that in
Yeah.
front of somebody. Don't just
but yeah,
Raynor. You don't want Raynor to even know where he is when that there's an issue with the time. You want to do that all. That's all got to happen away from these guys.
Okay.
you don't want to find out what happens when the timeline slips.
Oh God.
That does sound
We need to figure it
unpleasant.
out and fix it.
Rocks fall, you all die.
Universe implodes.
It turns him into a thermonuclear device, and we all die.
It turns him into that one monster you can only kill by playing shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and take out my
Oh, it's your
parchment
ass.
and pen and write this down. What they're talking about.
Yeah. He pulls out a pen and starts writing. When he does, Raynor goes, please, just let me go home. I'll come back. I promise. But I gotta take care of my kids, and I got a wife.
Do you believe in life after death?
Jesus, that's a dark question to ask.
Because I'm gonna send him home if that's the case.
Whatever deity I made a pact with, just in my ear goes,
Yeah.
fuck that dork.
He said he wanted to be sent home. Let's send her to meet his maker. If we decide to kill this guy, that's what we're doing. We just gotta let him know that his life is not important to
I
us.
don't feel like we can just let him go.
Exactly.
We either keep him bound somehow here until we are finished.
Look, I
or-
just am gonna do my job. I gotta get the machine going. We got a quota to meet.
Does anyone have a shovel?
No.
Look, I can even run the show. I can even run the machine myself. I know all the pieces. Just let me do it, because otherwise, they'll not be pleased, and things could get really ugly.
Yeah, well, I have bad news for you. We're not pleased, so you gotta deal with somebody. You're gonna stab him. Close your eyes.
I mean, that's what I want to do, but
You have my support.
I feel like I've been doing a lot of that recently.
That's your role. It's okay.
A lot of killing, or a lot
Yes, a lot of having to kill things for the betterment of the party.
of
kill
killing
it.
a lot of dwarves in particular.
That too.
You're racking up the grim
Wow,
total here.
If you want to kill him, I'm
Literally the grim total.
I just don't want to kill him if y'all want to keep him alive. Or something.
Quietly, not, guy can't hear me. I don't believe if we
Okay,
let.
so you can close him in the room and talk.
Yeah.
So have your conversation. Bring him up to speed if you want to, before you do something really extreme.
So I don't believe that he's from this iteration or reality. I believe he has come through the gates, like the caravans do. His description of Alistair's castle is completely different. That's not what we have here.
Can we figure out how to go through the gate, or is that something we do not want to do?
I don't know.
That's a big question.
He told you he can lead you right out.
No, but that's what I'm asking. If they want to go to another, if it's super bad, or if it's like
I don't know. It seems as though these dwarves can come through, but I don't know if we can. There may be some kind of magic at work that we don't know about.
I'm in this conversation.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
standing
okay,
there.
okay.
I
You don't understand what they're talking about. They're talking about time and stuff.
I hear gate though, and I'm intrigued, right? Because that's
Right.
where I want to go.
Right. So he's like, there's a gate.
We were told about a kind of multiverse, I guess. There are many, the same reality, but they're different. As far as we know, 8, right? 8 separate ones. There is a gate here that allows us to get from one to another.
I'm not sure if it's a one-way trip though.
Yes.
It's not a one-way trip. He's already told you he's been in and out of here a lot.
now, okay.
He has. Now he's from then.
That's what I'm saying. We
This-
don't know if it's.
This goes back to the carts I was telling you about.
Got it.
So I'll tell you about that. The carts come from here, go down the road, and disappear. We think that they're making basically stops into each reality. And we are trying to find out.
Maybe we could check these cubes and see if they give us any indication of what.
Well, the cubes, remember, were all addressed to different iterations, basically.
Okay.
And places and times.
Yeah, and places and
That's
times.
all I wanted to figure out.
And they're
I-
magic.
I feel like they're bad.
What if we fit
I
in
feel
a
like
box?
they're real bad.
Like one of those fake cakes. We put like one of us in the box and then just outside the box.
BP for that.
So we either have to stay with him, but I don't trust that we run into.
You can go show him the machine too and tell him what you see out there, because
Oh yeah, and all the.
So there's this mechanism, this device, that currently sitting on the device is a block of silver metal. It's 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet.
Okay.
Nothing holding it in place, and yet it seems to shimmer almost like it's moving when there's like an air. They cast a spell and they saw it reacted to the spell being cast or whatever. They don't know what it is. They haven't figured out how to move it yet. But there are cases that are made exactly big enough for that 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot cube to fit inside of, and there are 11 of them along the wall that have already been labeled.
Got it.
And this dwarf told you he can run the machine
He can run the machine.
to continue the processing because they're far behind quota because you've interfered with them for now over 8 hours.
Now what I want to know is if these are weapons for the people they're sending to or against. Because if they're for, we
Yeah.
can have this dwarf make us some of these weapons for us. But if it's against, we don't want to mess with it.
If it's against, we could send it to the people we don't.
That's what I'm saying. But if it's
Once
for, we
around.
can get
But
our
you hadn't
own.
figured out how to do that. You
Yeah.
found the quote label maker, but you didn't know how to make it function.
Alright, so we'll go back in, ask the dwarf.
And I'm going to mess with them. I'm going to walk in instantly. Be like, we've discussed it. And we're tied on what to do with these. So we came to 2-2 vote.
What I would ask is, are they some sort of these blocks? Are they some sort of weapon? Are they?
Is magic ever used as a weapon?
All the time,
Is magic used to do good things?
and the bad.
And good.
Or so these people that these are getting sent to. Is this something sent to hurt the people? To
No,
hurt
they even put their names on them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So they are not being sent as a trap to harm the occupant.
No, it's to fulfill quota. This is a money-making operation.
So these things are pure magic. I legitimately have no idea. Any ideas on what to do?
I am in favor of just letting him continue.
You guys don't believe me. I'll take you. Like I said, I'll take you back through the gate if you want.
Would you be able to print labels for us? Or do you only know how
Why
to
would
make
I
the
do
cubes?
that?
I didn't
No,
ask
no.
why. I asked if you
I
could.
have a job to do. I don't have anything to do with what the labels are. The labels come into the machine when it's turned on.
And do you know where they come from? Like who sends them?
Others send it.
Okay. And do you know where that is?
No, I never asked.
Alright.
My family is safe as long as I do my job. And I'm way, way, way behind
Who is holding your family?
the others.
Who are the others? Do they have names?
I've never seen them. We sent them long ago in trade for our safety.
Okay. The others.
If you rescued them, then I might be able to do stuff for you. If I didn't have to worry about them.
Well, what other stuff can you do for us?
Well, like I said. Wait a
can
minute.
show us
You're the ones who killed all my friends, and now you're asking me what I can do for you?
To be fair, your friends attacked our mouse friend. They tried to
This
capture
is
him.
what we could do for you, that you can do for yourself to keep yourself alive.
Like I said, I can take you where I'm from. You can figure out whether or not you can save my family. You save my family, then I will do more for you.
I don't see any other use for a Mayshock.
I don't either.
You guys already know my answer.
Everybody wants to kill the dwarf.
Can I cast Awakened Mind and talk to him directly?
Sure.
What's that?
One of my gifts from the old one.
Hold on.
Look here. Do you want to live or not? Are you telling us the truth? What else can you do for me? Because right now we don't have any use for you.
Okay, you say that. You don't know how to get to where I'm from. If you want to get more out of me, you need to do for me. I'm willing to take you there. that in effect gives you an access to information that no one from your when has.
It's our prisoner.
Has anybody else gone through the
And he's
gate
trying
that
to
you know,
bargain
or has
with us.
everybody?
Yeah,
bargaining.
yeah, lots of people come through the gate ever
And
since
back?
it got open. I mean, you'd have to ask Musk, but Musk left a long time ago.
Do you know where Musk is?
He looks at your necklace and goes, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where Musk is."
Okay.
And you'll eventually be there too now.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell the party this information about Musk and see if they know who Musk is.
I've never heard of him.
I'll be happy to go. Never.
It sounds like if you want to continue down this path, he is the best clue we have towards getting to elsewhere.
I say we tie him to a rope and just have him, like a dog, follow, lead us somewhere.
You already have weapons drawn. I'm not a very fast runner.
That's not what I'm saying. Say we tie it around my waist and around your neck. So if anything goes wrong,
Humiliation
it
is not
snaps.
necessary.
It's not about humiliation. It's about control.
You
I'm
sound
with-
like a red veil. It's actually.
I'm with 15 with this, so I think that's the best way to do
He
this.
could be our pack mule for now.
Go.
How much can you carry, Rygar?
Well, I'm actually an engineer, so I'm not really big on carrying lots of stuff, but I do
So
know how
let's
to.
let him up.
Well, if he takes off all his armor and weapons, he could carry it.
Okay.
I don't have any weapons anymore. You took them away from us.
Hey, we gotta just make sure we can't.
Speaking of the weapons, what kind of weapons were you helping them bring in?
I don't know about the weapons, right?
Right.
I just know that they were being transported.
Wagons laden to the gunnels carrying something pretty dang heavy.
Okay. Kind of curious about those.
Well, you sort of can go and find that out at
We
a
get
later
it.
date, and then gives you something else to pursue.
This guy could lead us to wherever.
What do we do? Do we go to the other
Not to
side?
wherever, but to rocks.
Do we go through this gate? Do we
I'm so down.
close this gate?
But
do
if
we
something
do?
goes wrong, the other two are gonna be lost in the mine. Be like, where did everybody go?
Well, they're not in the. They didn't go into the second mine, so they won't be lost. You only get lost in the second mine.
We either do that or help this guy's family, right?
Yeah. If we think we can trust him. We don't know.
If you trust me and you rescue my family, you will have a resource in another time should you ever need it.
Ashok,
This is an investment, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not even running a TET plan or anything.
Ashok, I say you should cut off his ear for insurance.
Ah!
I was gonna say a finger, but that works.
Yeah, the ear.
How is that his
Just do
insurance? Are we gonna give it back if he keeps his deal?
We'll keep it around his neck.
It's just to let him know we're not fucking around.
Wow.
I don't.
Now that sounds like something. That's totally something an infernal. I mean, an abyssal would come up with. Let's take something. Random dice. Ear. Yeah, that'll work.
I say we tell him.
That,
we will
it's a
take
little
his
bit
ear.
like Rocket.
I said we don't.
I need
take
his
ear,
eye.
But we tell him if he.
Did I
tries
need
it
his
out
eye?
funny,
No,
we'll
but it's
take
funny
his
as
ear.
shit to watch him laugh when I took it.
I would say that
We don't take his ear, but tell him if he does anything.
if we do
funny.
this for him, but he fucks us,
Oh yeah,
then
no.
we kill the family.
He already knows that you're willing to kill him.
It's not about willing to kill him. It's about willing to kill.
He's
his
obviously
family.
not scared enough of us.
Well,
Just
that's
from
What do you mean I'm not scared enough?
The
The
promise.
puddle on the floor in front of you. The fact that I soiled myself and you smell dwarf poo. Well, how else could I prove to you how scared I am? Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna tie
I
a
don't
rope around him like a leash.
I would say that if we help him and he does not keep his end of the bargain, we kill the family that we helped save.
Ashok, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Someone in the past has to really.
We gotta make him
I'm a
watch.
pirate. You break your end of the bargain, and I break my
That's
end
Black
of the
Spot, and I'm dead. Now I get that.
Yeah.
You've already threatened me
No, your
twice.
family's dead. You gotta watch, not you.
You break your end of the bargain, we break our end of the bargain, as it were. It's only fair.
You break the bargain, we break your family's neck. Same.
Rhaegar, can you show us to the game?
I know they're just standing there like, oh god.
How did this happen?
It's the way I do business.
All right, so he goes, can I at least finish processing that order? Right, they'll really get mad if I leave a block of that sitting on the shelf. Can I at least finish that order?
How long will it take?
10 minutes after I get the machine up and running.
Your call.
I don't know that I trust it.
You hold all of the cards, dude.
I'm down to let him finish, but he's still gonna be tied to my rope.
Alright, very well.
He's got a fetish for ropes around people.
I
I gotta
am
make
starting
sure.
to feel the
Disturbing.
same
It's
way,
around his
honestly.
neck too, so if I pull it hard enough.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not a sec gen, okay? I'm not okay with this. The
To be-
sec gen
to be
sometimes.
fair-
The section
To be fair, to be fair,
Some
you're
of
our
them
prisoner.
are.
To be fair, you're our prisoner, and you're gonna be.
Think of the
wherever we want.
bordellos that you could run. Oh god. Okay, so with the necklace around his neck, he's gonna insist on calling it that. The necklace.
Sure.
He
It's
goes over and he
50
flips
something.
on the switch. You hear that roaring sound again. Takes one of the empty cases and walks it over.
Can I ready myself so if he tries anything?
Sure.
I know he's not going to, but I gotta be on my toes.
Goes over and puts the box on the end, locks it in place. Goes over and pushes one of the buttons on that little panel. Arcane symbols form and disappear on the panel. After a few seconds, it stops. The silver cube slides down to the end of the box, end of the rails, and drops into the case. As it does, he quickly puts a lid on it because as it hits the surface and it falls into the box, you can actually hear that animal-like male-female scream that you heard before, and he seals it really quickly.
Magic.
Yes.
My way.
Then he pulls a label out of the machine and slaps the label across the top. Go ahead and make a perception to read it as he puts it on top of the stack.
See, I want to see what
20 non-natural.
It says High King Smoit
Smoit.
Urbana Bana Tamandigan.
Hi, King Smoit. Who came after that?
Urbana.
Urbana.
Mm-hmm. And Tamandigan, spelled Tymandigian.
ND. AGAN.
So it's pronounced Tamandigan.
Tamandigan.
There's no
Yeah, there's no
one eye
iteration.
and two eye, anything like that.
No. Adds it to the stack and then says, "Okay, let's go." At least I did one for the sequence. They're not going to be happy, but what the hell are they going to do about it? Replace us? And he kind of laughs nervously.
he doesn't have
At
a
least
choice.
5 of you, yes.
Yeah, he has to replace the other 4.
Yes, but trust me, you don't want the Grolem running the machines. We do not want that.
Are we just gonna leave the dead bodies there? Or are we
I'm
gonna
not
try-
carrying them out.
Oh, I was gonna say burn them or something. I don't know.
Just leave them.
Just make it
Matter of fact, you go to ask that and you go look and they're not there anymore.
dope.
I don't like that.
They despawned. Don't worry
They
about it.
despawned? That's what happened?
They respawn somewhere else.
Despawned?
Yeah, their families will be despondent.
But
Alright, I guess we're gonna follow him out
Okay?
through the gate.
Leads you through a staircase. Well, he leads you down a staircase to a small room where he takes off all his clothes and starts telling you guys you should probably want to do the same thing. I'll have to see if I can find you something to wear. Takes off his armor, takes off his
It's just like
clothes.
the damn Terminator thing, you can't go in with metal.
No, it's not that at all.
What is it?
Then what is the purpose?
Okay, what you're wearing now wasn't made until recently. Where we're going, that material is still probably in its in its original component form. You come out with a couple of rocks tied around your neck.
oh dear.
Get rid of the glaive, despawn or say despawn it. So everything that we have on us will just go
Just the
away.
clothes, right? Or the armor, weapons, everything.
I personally, I never come through with anything from home, and I don't leave with anything from here. We don't know. This is one of the earliest of them ever found. So
Where
we
would-
haven't. It's never been fully investigated.
Where would we be able to keep our stuff?
About how far is the time difference between these two?
I don't know what that means. I just know that there and here aren't the same.
Fair enough. I'm just thinking that, like, because my stuff
Well,
is
you could go through with your stuff, but the stuff may take a one-way trip.
right.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's why I'd recommend.
Taking it off.
Fine. Not happy about it,
Yeah, I'm
but
just wearing a robe, so I'm just take
oh
the
my god.
Okay.
But
Whatever you do, do not bring any of your coins. None of them. Leave them all here. You don't have any old enough to make any justification for them, their existence, and that will cause more trouble than you know.
I'm not gonna risk it.
What's that?
So I wanted to bring 1 copper just to see what happens, but I'm not gonna risk it once he said trouble.
Go back and watch Somewhere in Time, an old Christopher Reeves movie. Jane Seymour. You see what happens when you take a penny
I'll
back.
start unrobing.
Let's say I'm standing there naked, holding a leash,
Yeah.
with a naked guy on the leash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
well,
is bad.
He's actually got on regular street clothes by the time you get naked, and so
Wearing my street
he's like,
clothes.
oh, talk about turnabout's fair play. He's looking at you holding the rope, and he's got the rope.
Tug it.
I have a set of common clothes, so I'll change into those.
Okay.
Lay all my stuff down, hiding my coin purse within my stuff.
Oh, sure. Well, he actually will point out lock boxes on the side. You can even use the locks on them. Just take the keys.
All right.
Well, we do this all the time. We don't take very many guests in with us, but sometimes we'll bring a guest in from the other side.
I'll make a note of where I put mine.
Likewise.
Yep.
All right. So
Same.
you're all wearing normal gear or common
clothing.
clothing. You don't have any armor or anything like that. So he says, ready?
Ready.
He's ready. He's
He
ready.
says, okay. You have a preference: potato, rutabaga, tomato, onion. What's your
Onion.
favorite?
I've heard about a really good rutabaga festival. I like rutabagas.
You're liking rutabagas more nowadays?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he hands you a rutabaga sack. Says, you'll want to climb into it. What's your preference?
Carrots.
Good choice. Goes over and gets a carrot. Sniffs the bag. Yep, that's the carrots one. Onions, sure.
Taters.
Okay, good. You pull it all the way up. He says, "Now this is gonna get fun." And before he gets into his bag, and his bag says mushrooms on it. And before he gets into his bag, he hands each one of you a needle and a coarse piece of thread. He says, "You have to get inside 13 stitches, and say Alda Building, and we'll be there."
Is the rope still coming out the top of his bag?
has to be.
Into my bag?
You insisted on having the rope. I can't do anything about that.
Just making sure. The rope's probably gonna go away.
I'll
but
do
I gotta
that.
make sure.
And I'll be ready to spawn either a dagger or a sword to cut myself out.
Okay, so make the 13 stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Say the word.
What was the word again?
All the building.
Aldebaldi?
All the building.
All the building.
Nothing seems to happen. Then you hear snip, 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 snip. All right, guys, get out. Climbs out of his bag. Let's go.
I get out of the bag.
Okay.
The same. Are our clothes still there at least? Our common clothes?
Well, you're still dressed, but the boxes aren't here. The room literally looks like a root cellar. It's bags of vegetables and fruits and all kinds of. And it's musty as hell, and you can just hear the rain coming down on the tin roof, just almost nonstop.
This is your home?
Oh no, this is just the root cellar. We have to head out. We had to make it to here, and that's how you get here. So, come on, let's go. Can I take this off now that we're here?
No.
It's gonna look embarrassing. We'll be walking through my hometown.
It's gonna
With
be
a rope.
embarrassing if you betray us.
I'm aware of that. If I was gonna
Just
betray
take
you,
it off.
thank you.
Fine.
If you want, I'll hold it in my hand.
No. Give me my rope.
All right, so you walk outside, and you're on a small, rainy street. Down below you see the very familiar buildings of the caravan house, as well as the inn. The signs are a little bit different. The White Temple itself looks like a lean-to, like somebody just built a small little shack. But just barely on the edge of town, in the rapidly thinning rain, you see this ostentatious-looking temple-looking building, almost jet black stone. Standing in its archway, slowly turning, is a statue of a figure with its hands pressed together, looking like it's praying, its head facing down, and multifaceted bug-like eyes underneath the cowl, looking out into the street as the statue slowly turns.
Does it look like the bug that we killed in the septagonal piece? I figured. This is what did he call it?
Roxford?
Roxford?
Yeah.
No, it's a
Roxburgh. Yep.
Or Roxford. That's the cathedral then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, do you know where your family is being held?
Well, no, but I'm sure that the Warren brothers are probably behind it.
We're involved with the Warren brothers, no matter what, huh?
I'm guessing it's old Warren brothers.
Not the same ones.
Compared to our Warren brothers, they're like Warren
Certainly
great-grandfathers.
As you're walking through town, you see the old miner you used to know, dressed to the nines. He's got gold rings on every finger. He's throwing little candies to the local children, and
Belden, the miner?
the one whose name you never can remember. Yes,
Bob. He was calling him right.
right.
Yeah,
now-
he was calling him all kinds of names.
Yeah, and he's walking forward. He's going, "Oh, well met friends." Then Ryder goes, I need to not be here." Kind of like falls behind you guys a little bit. Pulls his hood up a little over his head.
Oh, loud.
So glad to see you once more. And how are you, Ashok? How are the children?
He's children.
Yes, you have 9. Last I checked.
I have
You're
yes.
yeah.
Children.
And Dina, your wife. I know you're having trouble, but
I'm afraid you may have me confused with someone else.
oh no, that's Vorin over there, right? I haven't seen you since the last worship service. Where have you been?
I'm sorry.
The priests are a little worried about you.
I know I fell off the wagon. I need to find my way back.
Well, fortunately for you, they are ready for a purging ceremony this tomorrow afternoon, so you might be able to get cleansed again and be brought back into the faith.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
And Eula, and he talks to Eula, he steps forward and rather gratuitously slaps your bum. How's it going, Toots? Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. You stop coming by.
Yes. Circumstances held me.
Oh, well, I hope there wasn't anything that you might have needed financial help with, because I could definitely have helped you with that.
I appreciate the offer. That is what. Well, iteration. Yeah, I was about to say. Out of curiosity, does this look like? Well, no, never mind. That's a bad question.
What?
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look like anywhere within like the past century? Like
No, the structures don't look anything the
Okay,
same. It doesn't look like they're
nothing
using the.
like at all.
No,
Okay.
the houses and buildings look like they were made out of the stone itself. It's like somebody came through and stone shaped them, whereas the others were constructed out of wood and
Okay.
and plaster. Yeah,
So this isn't even like just like okay.
this isn't yesterday. This isn't.
way older.
Does the sky
I don't think it's just
look the same?
time though.
The same?
Oh, that's a good point. No, the sky is beautifully blue,
God.
and the light from above is from a brilliant yellowish star.
Have you seen any birds passing by?
Oh yeah, chickens and all kinds of
Oh God.
bird life.
Just lean back to the rest of the room and go.
Called it. So then, yeah, the iterations just kind of huddling. The iterations have a lot more to do, or
If I
it's
had
not
to guess,
strictly just
I
time.
had to guess the same characters are every iteration. They just take place in different times.
It's a different timeline, yeah.
That's
It's just
also
The Spider-Verse.
Yes, it's a Spider-Verse. So it's like the same like story and like stuff's happening kind of, but it's just in different times.
So let me tell you how I began.
Here's really how the story goes.
Can I hold Rygar's hand and ask?
Riker goes, "Ooh, aren't you a feisty-looking one?"
I'm gonna use Awakened Mind again and ask him how.
Okay, what's the DC on that?
I think it's just an ability, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see one on
Yeah, there's none.
Okay,
It's just it's opening up telepathically.
Yeah.
Although it might specify a friendly creature.
It just says a creature.
Oh.
Yeah, it gives you the ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet. You don't need to share a language with the creature; it understands you telepathically.
Is there any
But
kind of
the-
restriction of how many uses you can do it?
okay. So when you're talking to him, you're hearing two voices respond to you. That's
Okay.
what I'm getting at. You're hearing his voice, but a buzzing, high-pitched insectoid voice
As well.
precedes by microseconds his response.
Okay.
So he's not saying what he's thinking; he's saying what he's being told to think.
Okay. So I hear the insect voice. I know I can't trust him.
You know you can't trust him.
Or what he's saying. What he's saying.
No, his words are his. It's just they're being preceded by that noise. It causes distrust, but it's not necessarily
Okay. So
untrustworthy.
I'm gonna ask how. What's the guy's name? Who's talking to you guys?
They know. They
His
know
actual
more
name
us.
No,
is
just call him anything with a B.
Anything with
Bob.
something to be.
Belton.
Belted.
Belden, yeah.
Belton, yeah.
How does he know them three?
Oh, they live here. They've been living here for their whole lives. I don't know who you are.
Okay.
And I certainly don't know why you're here. Your kind was driven off of here. Well, actually, no. Your type hasn't even arrived yet. What are you doing here?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze his hand and let go.
Anyway, who's that?
Debt collector.
Oh, I was doing that to Rygar, not Bob. The Awakened Mind.
Oh, I completely heard different. I heard you were doing that to Belden.
No. No, that's why I held.
So you're
Rygar's hand.
asking Ryger
How
who-
he knows them. Yeah.
Oh, how? We
Bob
all
knows
know each other 'cause we all live here.
Okay.
These guys even knew Ryger. They just didn't know his name because they don't
Gotcha.
talk to
Okay.
everybody.
Got it.
So they didn't hear the insectoid voice.
Okay.
So, you here for the festivities? I mean, after all, it isn't that often the Indicus, the Indocines bring their festival to us.
In the scenes.
Is there alcohol at this festival?
Oh no, they're teetotalers.
I was gonna say I had
You had an experience.
an experience where I sworn off the juice, so I can't. At least
Well, they're more into the blood anyway. I mean, not human blood, but they see life as being life's blood. So even the rains from the heaven is when God splits his wrists to save his people.
wow, that was
Yeah,
dark.
they're a little dark. They are dark.
I would say, yeah, let's go, oh, sorry, let's go check this out. Let's
Let's do the one thing you don't want to do when you go back in time and find our other self.
Don't do that.
But hey, Belden, where do I live?
just touch each other. Yeah, I would say let's go. I mean, if y'all want to.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. As you're walking up towards it, you see your other self carrying him around the corner, saying, "I know you shouldn't have got into the alcohol." You walking around going, "Guys, look at the bag I got." And you see yourself coming around the corner, angry as hell, going after them for the stuff that they stole from you.
So we're like seconds in the past of what we just did.
So we met him.
So it's
Just had the
entirely
worst idea.
different, but it's also
So it's an event that happened months ago, but it's happening.
But it's like their
centuries
version
ago.
of it.
Yeah.
And
It's happening centuries ago.
As we do
centuries and less than 12 days ago.
It's some form of time long ago.
that, yep. I'm gonna find a dark spot
Mm-hmm.
somewhere where I'm out of sight.
Right.
I'm gonna cast disguise self.
That's probably a good idea.
Yep. And I'll just generic human.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us. No.
Just very
I trust you. You're the wise one.
so conspicuous that I blend right into everything else. Just very, you know.
Sure.
And then go back out and blend in to the crowd.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace and
Give everybody stealth.
yes.
Okay.
Say it would be even better if you talked to them.
I'm gonna make my way around where I can see my other self
Yep.
that's stolen the
They're
money.
still bickering about the money.
And he's gonna steal it.
And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna watch what's going on to see if it's all happening the same way it happened.
Well, the only thing that's different that happens is you see a priest come walking out of the temple. His head, he's wearing dark brown, looks almost like the Franciscan robes, the white belt around him, hands folded in front of him, cowled hood up over his head, wearing a backpack close to his shoulders. As a matter of fact, it almost looks like it was formed into the design of his robes, that this backpack would be there. And he was walking over to the group, and he interacts first with a newer version of Saturnine.
Okay.
And Saturnine takes one look at him and bolts. She says, "Run, flee for your lives." And the priest just kind of cocks his head, and you can hear him chanting, and his voice carries that overtone of buzzing as she bolts. Your other self calls forth a sickle as a weapon. "I will reap what you have sown," and starts after this creature. The other version of you raises their hand to the sky, and all of a sudden a bolt of lightning strikes down at the foot of the creature. The next one will be in your face if you do not back off, thing of the abyss. And the third, this one goes, "I don't care, I'm swinging with my sword."
Actually, don't have a sword.
You do have a sword.
It's
In this iteration of you,
And stumbles, just doesn't even get close to the creature. And when the creature with its arms raised sees him, puts out his arms like it's going to put his hands on your shoulder. You look up into its face. Apparently, that character becomes enthralled, looks up and says, "Forgive me, Father, I have." And then a second set of arms come out of nowhere, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and you see the other self of you fall face down in the dirt. And as it backs off, the other two characters see this freak out and flee.
I'm the smart one.
Which way
I'm
did
the
they
smarter
go?
one of all means.
They flee back around into the festival.
Like past me.
Yeah.
As they do, they come back. I'm gonna cast my unseen servant and I'm gonna snatch
oh my god,
my purse off of me.
Nice. Because you know right where the purse would be.
Yep.
impressive.
You better come up on like 14 gold.
And bring that to me and
Attach it to your belt.
yep.
Okay.
Check it later.
The creature looks over to where they ran off and says, "You will have to do." And it picks you up with that second set of hooks and pulls you inside of its cloak. Now it looks like a fat version as it starts hovering back towards the temple.
Now I'm gonna go away, out of sight of whatever the fuck that was.
It sucked. I just watched myself die.
If there's any consolation, you're not dead.
Yeah.
You are not.
To be fair, we don't even know if that one's dead. We
Yeah,
just got-
fair enough.
Yeah. What are y'all doing? Because
When you look around, Raynor's gone.
of course he is, fucker.
Damn rope.
We did this one to ourselves, I think.
Go rope.
I don't see him anywhere.
You told me to
Nor in the crowd running, hiding, anything like that. I don't see him at all.
No, he would have done the same thing you did. Ran until he got into the crowd and then slows down to a walk. And since he's a dwarf, he's going to mingle into the side. That's
Yeah,
the height of everybody else.
of course. Okay,
Not that you can't find out where he lives, because he's apparently local from here.
true. I'm gonna go find Belton.
Sure.
Belden.
Belden? Sure.
Um,
At this point, he's sitting on a bench, and the little kiddies are all around him because he's tossing them candies and sweets and stuff. Acting like a benevolent grandfather. He also looks like he's extremely wealthy.
actually, before I go do that, I'm gonna check the coin purse that I stole.
Mm-hmm.
What do I find in it?
There are 110 coins. All look like they're made out of iron with holes in them.
So it's a different kind of money altogether.
Of course.
Iron with holes in them.
110.
All of them?
All of them.
That's right.
And the only difference between them is the size of the coin. Some of them are about the size of a quarter. The next ones are about the size of a $50, and the others are the size of a saucer. Saucer ones weigh almost a pound a piece.
Don't worry, if they're worthless, you can still throw them at people.
There's a festival going on
Yep.
as well.
Now we
right?
have money
Yeah.
in this world. That was my
I'm gonna
purpose.
go ahead and walk around and see what's happening around the character because we're stealth, right? Do I have to be a certain range from you?
It
30
is any
feet.
creature I choose within 60 feet, or 30 feet, sorry. So he wandered off on his own, but the three of us all have pass without
But I'm-
trace.
But I have to be
I'm
within,
disguised, so.
Yeah.
I have to be within 60 feet of you.
No, you have
I
it
have stealth.
as long as I can maintain concentration.
Okay,
on
cool.
It, which
So I'm gonna
is-
go ahead and investigate around.
Theoretically,
Okay.
I'd say you still have to be able to see them for
Okay.
it to have the effect. So you have to keep an eye on where they are.
Alright, so I'm tailing her, but
Yeah.
but basically you have +10 to stealth.
Okay,
So-
cool.
That only works on stealth checks, and so you can do everything else normally.
Yeah, I'm just walking around trying to see if I can pick up interesting conversation.
Sure. The thing about the indices, me.
We also can't be tracked, which is nice.
Except by magic.
So what I want to do is go back to Belden
Mm-hmm.
and I've taken like. Are the coins? Do they have any like they're just different sizes? They
Yep.
look exactly the same. Other than that,
They look identical except for the sizes.
okay. I want to take one of the larger ones. To
And you
Belden.
see that what they're doing is basically when somebody wants to pay something, they'll tell them what they need, and then apparently they don't even track how many they have, so they'll take a handful of the coins and slide it across this tray, and it picks out the ones that are the right size. The ones that are wrong size won't fit in the tray properly.
Okay. I want to take one of the mid-size coins out of
Uh-huh.
the bag.
Yeah.
Like one of the $50 sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my hand, and approach Belden
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Good sir,
Yes.
there was a small man, a dwarf, I believe, or what in our world? What are they called, dwarves?
Grim.
Huh?
Grim.
Grim. He was a grim. He happened to have dropped this. Do you know? I believe I heard him say his name was Rhaegar or Rhaegar. I believe he dropped this. I would like to find him to get it back to him.
Well, the Riggers probably out at the Warrens.
At the Warrens.
Yeah.
Could you point me in the direction of that?
Yeah, just go down this road till you get all the little hovels. They call it the Warrens because it looks like a beehive.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate your help. And then I'm gonna go find everybody else to round them up so we can
Okay.
go.
Okay, so let's see. We are at 2:30. Let's take a 10-minute break, and we'll come back at 2:45. So, guys, we'll be back in a little bit.
Haha. See, I'm the smart one. Now we have coinage for this world.
I'm the dumb smart one.
That's exactly what
And we're back. This is Nikos D&D. Whispers in the Wind. Once again, for the monstrous crowd we have, which is 5 viewers right now, I'd like to have you all introduce yourselves, your characters, name, class, race, and where we are, particularly just one sentence about where we are.
I'm Scott, playing Ashok Kree. It's a class as well, right?
Yeah, class and race.
I'm a Trolloran warlock, and right now we are at a festival in another time.
Yuri playing Saturnine, which is a warlock tiefling. We're currently in Roxbury.
I'm Jacob, Dragonborn sorcerer, and my character has no idea where we are.
Hi, my name is Arthur. I'm playing Ayula, a Dian elf, druid, and she is in another reality.
Fairly good estimate. All right, and yes, for clarification, we are on the beginning days of the Indocene Festival. It is not common to this area, and you just your characters have just seen your doppelgangers, if you will, from this place and time get involved with an odd-looking creature that appeared to be a priestess. And so we are basically in the shadows of the outside of the Banbury, what do we call the Banbury Inn? I don't remember what the inn's name is. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, you are outside of the inn. There is still a slight mist falling, and the festival, despite the rain, seems to be starting to get underway. And your question was, what does festival consist of? Basically, the Indocenes are concerned with now I'm asking myself the terms here. Anyway, the festival seems to be oriented about fortune tellers, seers, and prognostication of all kinds, from palmists to card readers to crystal ball purveyors and such like. So, and as you just recently saw, poor Vorin's doppel apparently was taken in by one of the priestesses.
You got made a fool.
Taunt-bodied.
I'll go find the rest of the party and tell them what I found out about where Rygar is from.
Okay.
Should be over here.
All right. So you guys head over towards the area known as the Warrens. And you get closer and you realize that when it speaks to Warrens, it was referring to as narrow passageways through between basically little lean-tos. It looks like nobody actually owns the property. You can almost equate it to like a homeless encampment kind of thing, where it's like a mining encampment. People basically pitch their tent and then go to work and then come back to their tent at night. By asking around and bumping into the locals, none of which seem to recognize any of you, and you're not familiar with any of them. Of course, that would kind of make sense since you guys are from the economic upper echelon, and these are literally the ones that are scraping the bottom of the barrel. But they actually do indicate to you where Rieger's place would be. And when you get there, you see Rieger sleeping in a hammock, just one arm draped out, hanging out of the side of it. He's got the only things that are different between this and that you remember is that Rieger's got a couple of piercings in his ears, and the objects that have been pierced through basically look like tiny nails.
Two things.
See, good.
It's definitely the other Ranger.
No, because
And
ours,
second,
the one that we met, came from this
Here.
iteration.
But
there's definitely one from our iteration somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's definitely two, regardless if this is the old one or the new one. There's two somewhere.
And this is not the one we're looking for.
And I'm guessing at any point the one we captured could have gone back and taken all our stuff or warned the whatever. Like, we don't know what's up with that one. All we know is this one's chilling. So we may be out of loot, boys. But let's figure it out.
You didn't by chance bring that copper you said you were gonna bring, did you?
No, I didn't.
I thought it was a good way to let him know.
Well, we have the keys to the lockers.
Yeah, but it's their lockers.
I think we should tie him up either way while he's sleeping.
I think we should
Not
talk
the
to him
same
first.
one.
Yeah, I think we should
It doesn't
talk.
matter. We could talk to him.
We should just approach him, and if we notice recognition on his face, then we.
We
About
talked
this
to
time,
him.
about this time, while you're bickering back and forth, you hear, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me."
Yes.
Behind you, on the down at about foot and a half level on the ground, is a small lizard. He's got a bandolier of little tiny darts across his chest. He has a wristlet that looks like he's carrying a small knife at the ready at his hand here, and his boots are basically as long as his legs. So he looks like, if you will, the gecko in high boots.
What's up, little lizard? You come to sell us some insurance?
Certainly not. My name is Larry, and you need to get out of my way. I need to speak with my employer.
Employer.
Yes.
I don't know this guy. I'm gonna just let him. If y'all want to stop him, go ahead. I'm gonna just move.
I'm going to let him go. He's not important to me right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it.
15%
As he goes
off.
by you, he goes, Master, Master, awaken, awaken for they are upon thee. Rieger sits up, goes, oh, hey fellas. Gets down out of his bunk.
What's up, Rager?
Yeah. Not much, not much.
Says it to them?
Yeah.
I'm still in disguise.
Yeah. He goes, so, I see you made it okay. By the way, I don't appreciate the rug burns. They're still on my neck, you see? It's horrible.
Why did you leave us?
I was tired. I needed to get my beauty rest. I got a shift tonight. I got to go back and finish the work you guys interrupted yesterday, remember?
Yeah, to be fair, you know, you've been cool and all, but you're still our prisoner. Prisoner doesn't just walk away. You gotta ask.
No, I'm not a prisoner. We're partners.
If that helps you sleep in your hammock at night.
So are you going to help me or what?
You for your
That was the
family,
deal.
correct?
That was the deal.
Where can we find your family?
How do I know? I think probably the priesthood took him. I mean, Alistair's never been a
Checks
friend to the
out.
Warrens.
I just watched the priest. If it's the same priest we're talking about, kill me. So what do you know about this priest?
Oh, it's probably the same one that killed me.
He had magic arms. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, they're not magic. They're just three sets. He has two sets of them. Yeah,
Two
he's got,
sets. Do you know what race is this guy? This thing?
I don't know. We haven't really come up with a name for it yet. We just call them the others.
And it's like an insect-like.
It's got 4 arms, so yeah. Its knees work backwards,
It's
yeah.
like Goro has 4 arms, not a bug.
A what?
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Goro, you know, got 4 arms.
No, I wouldn't know it.
But all right. So we're gonna help this guy.
That was the
It
deal that we made.
sounds like our only lead.
Okay, so you know where they are then.
Where?
And
With the
cathedral.
others.
Oh,
with
no,
the priest.
they're at the chapel?
Yeah,
Or at the cathedral?
it's inside the the Cathedral of
Cathedral.
Alistair's.
Okay.
Alistair's Cathedral.
So I'm gonna ask you another very key question. How do you expect us to save your family with no weapons?
Oh, you have to get some from them.
From the priests.
Well, from the others.
From the others. So they're gonna give us weapons to fight them?
Weapons are outlawed here. Didn't you notice in town? Even the guards don't have weapons.
Okay. Okay.
Why does the lizard have a weapon, though, Rhaegar?
There. He goes, that's Larry. Larry waves. Yeah, Larry says, I have to make sure that I can provide us with the necessary accoutrement for our role as protagonists in this endeavor.
I'm gonna go ahead and see if I could persuade Larry into bringing him some weapons.
Go ahead and make your check.
No.
Besides that, you wouldn't need them anyway. You only have to have them for your lizard. They do all the fighting here.
We don't go by that anymore, but thank you.
How much money did you get?
110 coins. I don't know what that
Whatever that is.
equates to here.
Oh, you got coin?
Some.
You got if you have some cold steel, we can definitely do some work.
How many can we get?
Let me see. How soon do you need them?
Now.
Now would be difficult. If you don't mind waiting till then, I can get them for you.
How long is then?
Soon.
I'd say let's do that. Enjoy the festival a little bit. Walk around. See what's going on.
I doubt I'll be able to enjoy the festival here, but waiting seems to be.
I mean, magic user. Magic user light.
Two magic user lights.
We
make
still
one
have to
magic
kind of
user.
have a weapon. You could, well.
Yeah, I could do.
How can I shillelagh?
You wanna go ahead?
Really needs weapons.
As in the thing that I missed every time last session.
No, but I watched. I can't remember what you did, but he threw a lightning bolt at the thing and it was unfazed, right? It was the same creature.
He hit the ground in
I
front.
hit the ground. in
Yeah,
front
well,
of
that's what I mean. Like he threw it
It
at
was
it,
like a
and,
warning shot.
and it did not care.
Do you guys know how to get around in the cathedral? Have you guys ever been there?
Nobody goes inside the cathedral.
But the lizards have, right? No.
Lizards are supposed to. Lizards eat insects.
Gotcha.
So Rhaegar, are you and your lizard friend Larry coming with us?
The fact that they haven't taken out the avians here is kind of indicative that there's a possibility that you could endeavor to succeed.
Are you and Larry coming with us?
Of course not.
Of course not.
How do we know who your family is if we don't have you with us to identify?
Probably the only dwarves in the whole structure.
Touche.
I'm down. What y'all trying to do?
You wanna rush
So
in?
how much cash you got?
I
You give him the
have
coins.
110 coins. Yeah, I'll show him the coins.
He takes the three. How many of the big ones did you? I didn't tell you the
You
numbers.
just tell me you just said
Okay.
110 total.
He takes the big ones. He says that'll lighten your load, and this will more than cover what you need. What you need?
5 of us. 5 of them.
What do you want?
I do not need weapons.
Weapons and stuff.
Instead of a weapon for
No,
me,
you
I would.
can't get us weapons. You could get us other.
No, I can get you weapons from then. I just can't get them from now.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. You need weapons?
No, like magic.
I would prefer some type of armor. Otherwise, I'm squishy.
Okay, I can probably get that as well.
All right, let's do that. I'll take a piece, a set of leather armor, and I'll take a quarterstaff.
Okay. Okay. There he goes over and lays down in his bed. As he lays down in his bed, both Larry and Reiner vanish.
They just like.
Yeah. After a couple minutes of shock, they're back and there's a pile of gear at the end of the bed that wasn't there before.
Sweet.
They get up and stretch. There you go. I think that's what you're looking for. Hope it works.
You do some good work.
Oh, I just had to go to that. I told you we just had to go to then. We couldn't do it now.
Are there any other places besides?
Nice is now I have to leave because I have to go back to work, and Larry has to go back to.
I was gonna ask if there are any
Then.
other places besides then and now. Are there places like?
Oh God, we don't want to even talk about when.
Okay, just making sure.
What kind of armors did he bring?
He brought you studded leather and hide and a scale shirt.
I'll grab the studded leather.
I'll take the hide.
We'll take the regular leather.
I can't remember. I wear a robe. So I'm wearing common clothes just fine.
Okay, so studded leather, hide,
Leather and.
leather, and scale.
Uh-huh.
A scale's heavy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear it.
Yeah, he had no idea what you guys were and he didn't specify.
Yeah.
We could sell it.
Okay.
No, just leave it. It'll go back to what it needs to go back to.
Did you bring my staff? No, huh? Just the.
If you have a spell focus, you have to take that with you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So if you already had your spell focus on the staff, then you have spell focus on the staff.
Okay, cool.
I got a ring.
My weapon is my focus, so.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. He says, "Wish you luck." He says, I'd offer you my blessing, but I'm not a priest, so here you go.
Alright, we're gonna go hit this thing?
I think you want to have your fortune read before we go to the
It's
cathedral.
gonna get super dark. Regular, you only have an option. You
Have
can
a
only
fortune
save
read?
one
Yeah.
of your family.
You're the one
Who
with
do
the
you
money.
prefer?
Well, I mean, it's the money's for all of us.
Okay.
It's not. It was so that we had coin on this ring.
I'd rather not have my fortune read, but I don't mind you having yours.
You don't I don't really believe in this type, that type of sing. I don't know how well,
I'll gladly get my fortune.
you want to? You can have yours.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
We don't quite know where we are. Any fortune we receive might be different.
It just sounds like fun.
Fair enough.
Go for it. I did not mind it either, but I don't know how it will work if I don't believe in it.
All right. So, heading back over to the temple structure. It's later afternoon now. The party's still going on. Did you want a reading?
I don't think he will.
Give me the cards.
I'll take that.
There you go. You have no future.
Death.
I can't see.
I
past-
will warn you that
Sodomy.
this
I can't
this is,
see
this is
past.
not a completely accurate deck.
I was gonna say I can't see past 10 minutes in your future. I don't know why.
Sickness, death, and sodomy. You're gonna have a bad day.
Or a great
Sodomy
time.
comes
So-
first.
Get the
so-
power,
That's the
it's
last
bad
one.
news.
So when you go, you find that the reader is about a 90-year-old woman. She's seated in front of a round table. As you approach, she motions for you to all come and have seats. Whoever is to be read needs to be sitting opposite me. Ah, very good. And your name is
Boring.
Thorin. Yes, Thorin. Well, Thorin, I need you to do three things for me. One of which will be to choose a specific card from the deck. You just give me a number and I will count up to that card rather than have you actually touch the deck, which would normally be required. Second of all, you'll need to concentrate on a specific choice that is before you. And as you're concentrating on that, you'll want to let your associates know what that is without telling me what that will be. And then I will read you the portents in reference to that action after I've given you a touch of your past and a bit of your future. How does that sound?
Sure. So what does she mean a choice? Like,
A decision,
Oh.
a path, a potential path that you're considering.
okay.
Because readings are, especially ones of the future, are
Especially in a time like this.
although they're dependent upon the decisions that you have at hand, and the stronger you have in your mind what you want to do, the more likely the vision will be accurate.
Alright, so
So a number
Finding the family.
between 1 and 25.
13.
Lucky.
My friend's lucky number.
Yeah, I think that should be our.
Yeah, what's the question or the thing I should focus on?
Finding Riker's family.
Find Rager's family.
Okay. So the first card we have drawn indicates your presence, your personality, that which makes you who you are, and that is shows the sign of valor, one who is greatly brave and willing to do what it takes to sacrifice for his friends.
Like killing people. We should.
Another number, please do not cloud it with realities.
9.
And of your past. You have a problem with with alcohol. For this, the card that I drew was moderation, but it is in opposition. So it clearly shows that you have no restraint or control over what has happened in your life. You've given yourself over to alcohol in the past. It's arguable that therefore your stance as valor is actually one of foolhardiness built upon alcohol.
Liquid courage. And I can tell by that card you just pulled everything you're telling me is true.
So now we read a bit of your future. Another number, please.
7.
A declination, I noticed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Yeah, on the short version, freedom in opposition. If you do not change your ways, your alcoholism will lead to a level of bondage that you will not be able to escape from.
That's why I gotta kick
This
the
message
sauce.
is brought to you by the anti-alcohol MADD.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive,
viewers.
folks.
Nah, you don't.
No, don't drink and adventure. MADDD.
Don't drink
Others
and
Against
drive.
Drunk Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, you got your concentration on your viewpoint. Give me a fourth number.
21.
I hate you.
Ask me for a name. LeBron James.
Okay. These are two possible futures. They depend on how you reference your life compared to the pathway you're on. Just remember that first. So do not think that the order in which I read the cards matters. Both of them apply as potential futures. In the first case, effort misspent. It might be that the course you're on, based on the fact that your alcohol was involved, could lead to ruin. In the other case, it could lead to, the card splits itself into two cards. In that case, you have two options. If you turn away from this path that would lead to effort misspent, you'll either find the truth of why you are here, or you will fail to see a potential opportunity in the world that you have found yourself in.
So boys, I either gotta kick the sauce or deal with the consequences. Basically what she told me.
MADD could call us later and thank us for this this message of teetotalism. That's pretty good reading. I haven't done a good one like that in a while. And of course, every parent in the world is going, see, he had magic in his D&D session. If you know anything about what I just did, it's called personality reading more than anything else. Okay.
Thank you for my fortuneness.
No problem.
I just tipped my imaginary
You
hat.
have, why would you offer me copper? Copper is used in making magics. No, I need iron.
That's why I'm gonna just.
I'll
Just put it in the tray. The tray will
I'll
read
just
what you need.
grab a couple random sized coins and
She slides it around, and the ones that are necessary fall into the pattern, and you get back the rest.
I picture one of those coin sorting things.
That's exactly what it is.
Well,
Leave
We
the
have
rest on
business.
top of
I
the
have
good
good
measure
news.
and walk away.
So
Do what?
Leave the rest on top for good measure and walk away.
I have good news
No,
and bad
because
news.
she pours it out back
Okay,
on.
she
on
doesn't
the
want it.
tabletop.
If I kick the sauce,
okay.
good things could potentially happen. Bad news is I gotta kick the sauce.
I mean, I don't believe it requires someone to preordain that you are an alcoholic.
Do you
for-
carry alcohol on your person?
I don't.
Okay. I was gonna find him.
I don't.
Let me help you. I'll spike that punch.
Frank
Actually, I
does
will
spike.
though.
I
Frank
have
does.
one wine bottle on me.
Not anymore.
You left it in the locker.
Is it your
Oh yeah, it's in the locker. It's in the locker.
Alright, so
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
I think it's the Elvish one, or no? I think it's a regular.
I thought
regular
Frank
one.
had the Elvish
Yeah, then I
one.
just got a regular. I have one as well.
Oh,
if we
wow.
all bought one, I think-
Everyone's got one.
Everyone's a lush.
I got one for a Molotov, but didn't use
I
it.
think I bought one at the same time.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so
You should get your future ready. No, she told me important stuff. She enlightened me.
she enlightened you.
I could have enlightened you like a week ago, Warren.
You read too?
When was a week ago? I don't know. We don't. Where's when and when's now?
I ignore him and continue
Actually,
to the temple.
Don't ask about them.
Don't ask about them. They, her, he, she, it.
Actually, yeah, I'll sit down. I'll move you over and sit down at the table.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
And I'll tell her, so I wish to know something beyond what even I understand. Months ago, I was on a ship. It was destroyed, and I almost drowned. While I was drowning, a voice came to me, told me that if I served him and rendered souls in his name, he would give me unmeasurable power. And I told him I would, and woke up on the beach with the ability to do things. And I'll apparate a dagger into my hand and send it away to show her. And I wish to know what it is that spoke with me.
This stuff is kind of eerie sometimes.
And that's all I got.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna read you the cards, and it's gonna blow your mind here.
He drew the tower 5 times. So much
Out of a deck-
disaster.
out of a deck only has 4.
Everything dies.
No. You said you talked to something on the ship. It, instead of sapping energy, it feeds you energy. Is that not correct?
Yes.
That you were new to it. The opposite of maturity is inexperience. The power source is death. Your choice is the opposite of truth, of true prudence, which means that you need to look to protective measures that will become dangerous. So the very thing that's feeding you energy will eventually cost you your soul. And then finally,
Sounds like a word.
your life that you think is being led in freedoms instead will be stolen from you by tyranny.
Roger that.
Kind of screwish.
Wonderful stuff.
Sounds like alcohol's gonna do the same thing. It's like yours is an evil god, mine's an alcohol. You know, same,
Something.
same thing.
When I made it,
It's enough toys.
I was curious since I'm at level 3.
Yeah,
Thought
it
I'd
means
play
that
with that.
means that when you reach 4th level, you'll get to find out who it is that's eating your soul or demanding of you.
Yeah, all right.
Looking forward to that. Looks like.
Yeah. Throw some more coins in the thing.
Yes.
Pay for the service. And
This
Comes out to exact
legitimately
change.
gotten
There's
money.
none left over.
To be fair, he stole it from himself.
I'm gonna go
is
ahead.
it
and put
really
my-
stealing if I owned it anyway?
You're going to be stabbed by your iteration.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my arm around Vorin and turn his head towards the alcohol vendor.
So you buy it?
I'm not gonna say anything. Pat you on the back and walk away.
I ain't
Yeah,
got
before
no
we
money,
leave,
sir.
I'm gonna put my disguise back on.
He's the one with all the money, and he's not gonna let me drink. So
It's for the best.
that's what they
You wanna
always say.
cast stealth on us again?
For now, because of my limited access to magic,
gotcha,
I'm going to
gotcha.
hold off for now.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I guess we're gonna follow you, Aisha.
Follow me. We gotta find
You're the tank, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Have you seen my AC?
You are the party face.
I'm the party face.
Because you got many faces.
It's deep.
It's a mess.
Continue.
You can just turn yourself into Frank and be like, "Hey, we're Frank and friends."
No, I can't change my height on this one. So yeah, we want to find.
Well, we know where it is.
The
it's
family.
huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cathedral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cathedral's right there, standing in the center temple.
Yep. So we gotta figure out how to get into this cathedral.
I say we knock on the front door.
Is it guarded?
Yeah, door's standing open. They have open door policy. They told you that.
Is it cloistered? Does it have a wall around it, or is it just a cathedral building?
Just a single structure. Yeah, and the door's standing open.
That means come in.
Let's
All
just
right.
go in.
As you approach, you hear what sounds like a droning, almost Gregorian monastic chanting kind of going on, but it's backed by music that is kind of endless, the way organ music does, or a calliope or something. So there's always a tone or something in between the notes.
Do I see where this music's coming from?
No, it's just echoing from the structure, and the building's designed for acoustics, so it very much is in tune with itself. It is kind of disconcerting that there's a bit of like a tone of static over the top of it, like it's
Like a
no, it's more of a all the time. So when you walk in the archway, there's 4 sets of twin pillars, septagonal in shape. To either side of the center pathway, the floor is a burnished bronze. Looks like it would be really bad news if somebody was conducting electricity into this space. They would probably visit everybody on the floor. There is a raised altar-like area at the nave, and then there's the 2 cross-member tunnels that go off to the left and the right. Furthermore, that's all on the primary level. About 16 feet off the ground, there's another set of doors or archways that counterpoint between the main entrance and the other entrance. So there are 2 pairs of doors that leave the structure. From the outside, you did not see any such structures.
Interesting. Then again, we've
Now,
seen similar stuff.
In the center, there is a in the center of the hallway, about halfway between the second set of pillars, actually exactly between that second pair of pillars, is a pool. Looks perfectly circular, and at this range, it appears to be filled with water. The light in the room does seem to play a little bit of a trick in that the water looks a little bit gold, like it's reflecting a color in the light that's different. What are you going to do?
That I don't advocate for.
Do we see priests?
At this point, you don't see any individuals at all. There are a couple of, I should say that there are 2 kneeling figures just this side of the fountain, or the pool.
Can we
And they're kneeling in front of it about 3 feet this side of it. So they're not actually kneeling at the fountain, but near it.
Do either of them look like a priest?
They just regular clothing, regular clothes.
Okay.
humanoid, insectoid? Can we tell that?
Yeah, they're just bipedal humanoids. I mean,
Okay.
it's like just 2 people. And in the nave, there's basically three tiers steps up onto the nave, and from the nave there are 2 smaller archways that lead further into the building, as well. So there's actually from this level 4 exits, 2 main hallways, 2 side hallways, and then up a level there's 4 more side hallways. A lot of ways to go.
Sure are.
You guys want to approach the 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
Okay. As you do, you can hear the one of them is intoning what could have been, might be construed as a prayer, but he's actually, it's almost like what they call throat singing. He's making one sound with his mouth, which is really deep, but you hear a secondary nose sound coming through his nasal passage that trills, like he's sending a second prayer on a second wavelength, so to speak.
And that's down one of the 2 hallways.
No, that's the 2 guys sitting.
Just in-
the
sitting
guys
down.
kneeling.
Next to the pool.
The music is coming from somewhere farther beyond.
As we walk by, I'm just gonna look down into the pool, see what I see, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Look down into the pool, and there in supine fashion is a young woman. Her clothing is very stylishly covering her anatomy, not to make anything too graphic, but it also curves her form to show she is basically what would be to many people's minds the perfect female form. Her hair is splayed out into it like an aura around her head, and at the ends of her hairs they're intertwined with what look to be leaves and branches from the ivies that are growing on the inside of the pool's edge. So none of it goes above the surface, and yet there's what looks to be a form of ivy that lives underwater that's connected to her.
Can I see the shape of her ears?
Yes, she is clearly of elven blood.
Okay. What color is her hair?
Pale blue.
Pale blue.
You said she's underwater?
Yeah, 100% of her's under blood.
Under the water. Does it appear that she's breathing?
Make a perception check.
Trying to figure out something. 17, 19.
Yes, she's breathing through gills in her neck, left and right side.
Wow. Would I assume that she's a sea elf?
That'd be a pretty good guess since she's underwater and breathing.
I had two guesses,
And that was one of them. The vines I thought maybe dryad, but the hair changed that.
Do you guys want me to talk to her? See if I can talk to her?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try using Awakened Mind and ask her what she's doing in there.
Okay. At first you hear, "You shouldn't be here," and then over the top of it in a very deep voice, very, very staticky, buzzy, like coming from multiple sources at the same time. "You should not be here, eater of other men's souls."
Okay.
Year of other men's souls.
I'm gonna ask her again what she's doing there. See if she answers.
She goes, "You haven't the time. He'll be coming soon. I said get out of our mind."
Okay. So I break the connection and I tell the party.
Okay.
Maybe you should not do that.
I don't think it liked it very much.
Alright, so I'm gonna approach the two hallways and just listen.
Well,
Okay.
which hallway are you going? They're opposite sides.
Right.
You can't listen to both of them.
Well, I was gonna say, listen if there's like sound coming from one, not the other. Trying to figure out where the singing, which way the singing is
Oh,
coming
I
from.
see where the singing's coming
Droning's
from.
coming from.
Yeah, the singing's actually coming from the four hallways up above.
Up above. Okay.
Are the monks reacting to us at all?
What monks? You haven't seen any
The
yet.
two people.
The two people.
Oh, the two
Yeah.
prayers? No, they finished their prayers and get up and are walking back towards the entrance again.
To the entrance, they're walking out of the cathedral.
Yeah, they're wearing the Indocene colors, the deep
Okay.
blue of indigo.
Okay. So now we're alone
You see, as you're standing there, kind of looking both ways, trying to figure out where the sound comes from, you do see a pair of priests coming from the left-hand side, walking in that same flowing sort of way. You don't see their actual feet moving under their robes, but their robes are drifting forward, like they're almost like they're floating.
Do they look like this insectoid?
They're the same cowled form that you saw before. There's nothing really insectoid about them. Remember, the only thing you saw were the two blades come out that made you think they might be
Okay.
arms.
I thought you said something about with the other one, like
He had backward knees.
yeah.
I didn't think I actually said that at the time. I said afterwards. But the other guy,
Okay.
the other guy told you about that.
I'm gonna go ahead and hide behind a pillar so they can't see me.
Okay. As you're stepping behind one of the pillars, make a perception check.
24.
Yeah, the pillar itself, when you get close enough, its mirrored surface is actually a little bit see-through when you get close enough, and there's something inside of the pillar.
Oh dear.
So I'm gonna go ahead and Una? Your character?
Ayula.
Ayula. I'm gonna go ahead and relay what I see to Ayula.
Ayula, check it out.
Does this look similar at all to?
It looks exactly like it, only it's unbroken. It's the whole length, and whatever it is yeah, there's something inside.
Is that like the thing we killed? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
This is bad. This is all kinds of bad.
We messed the last one up.
So they're still approaching from the left corridor. I would just stand away from them, like letting them pass, and kind of respectfully bow my head a little bit as they pass, just to try to.
Well, they're coming toward you. They're a distance. They're some distance away down the tunnel.
Okay.
So they're just coming towards you. As you're standing there looking at that, and you're looking at the towers, and you're whispering to one another, you hear a voice from the doorway. What in by thunder? We have visitors and no one told me? This boisterous-looking dwarf, almost as broad as he is tall, joyously dressed in brilliant white with a flowing orange beard and wild hair, except for he's got the typical priestly round spot on top of his head, completely shiny bald. Goodness gracious, friends, why didn't you tell me you were coming? Please follow me. We need to meet. Please, quickly. And he heads back for the door.
Yeah, this seems.
Suspicious at the least.
I'm gonna push Varian to walk in front of us.
I did that to him.
Oh, nice. So it's a conga line
That's why
now.
I said go.
Yeah.
Go.
I guess I.
Are you going to stay and wait for the priest, or are you
Yeah,
going to...
I'm just gonna stand there, ignore it, and wait for the priest to approach.
Okay. So,
So it's like go,
you,
go.
you,
and then
you
he's
guys
like,
are
go,
being
go.
pushed towards the dwarf. As you get closer to the dwarf is motioning rather emphatically, come on, get your friend too, oh god! About this time the two priests have flanked you slightly left, slightly right of your position and turned themselves to you. And the voice says, how can we help you?
I don't need any assistance, thank you.
Why have you come then?
I was told that there was
They start to drift forward. Perhaps you are ready for the embrace?
poof. I teleport over.
Is that Thunderstep or just teleport?
Just teleport. It's just like it's basically Misty Step.
Okay.
So I'll Misty Step, or use that ability about 30 feet away.
Right.
For 6 seconds, I appear ghostly. Unfortunately,
Nice.
ghostly and translucent, and then that fades away, and I'm normal again. And
Did you head for the door then?
I'll head for
Us.
for them.
Yeah, they're at the front door. The priest.
Yep.
Yep. It's like, oh God, come on quickly. So as soon as you guys get out of the doorway, he turns around and waves his hand, and the front doors don't close, but a surface like forms over the outside of the door of a silvery material, like a lattice.
Okay.
He goes, so that will buy us some time. I am so glad to see you. Why did it take you so long? I've been waiting for. God, it must be 6 weeks. Are you well?
I'm sorry, who have we been waiting for?
Exactly.
I was waiting for you, Ayula. And the rest of you. I mean, I can't believe it took you this long. I like the costume. I'm not sure. Are you Frank or? Oh, okay. I was.
Guys.
I see a shark.
What was your name again? I'm sorry, the drinks messed me up.
They were supposed to warn you off of that shit. I'm
trying.
I'm Father
It's
Maynard.
hard. It's
Father Maynard. Order of the White
I
Veil.
remember now. I'm sorry, it's hard kicking us.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to tell you, but the temple's been compromised, and I can keep them in only for a few hours a day. After that, they're able to do what they want, and I was kept holding it, waiting for us to have enough time to talk. I'm really glad that Saturnine was able to find you. Where's Frank? Where's Shaska?
We ended up losing track of them on the way here.
We were
Oh
already
no,
lying.
you didn't go into 2, did you?
No.
No, they went. They seen something of interest in one and pursued that.
Okay. I just hope they don't get all too far in that box mess.
We warned them, but Frank is hard-headed, and Chaska wanted to protect him, so they went.
Your clothing looks a little strange. You must have had to talk to Rhaegar then.
At this point, 'cause I don't know if he knows that we're from the other iteration. Yes, we've just we had to make a change of clothes to try to not be so conspicuous.
Oh, that was pretty wise. Pretty wise.
Yeah.
So how's the totem working?
To be fair, I don't know if I could say this without him hearing. Could I talk to him, or is he?
You guys could take at any time. You guys can say we need a break to talk to each other, whatever. And I'll let you guys huddle up.
Huddle up, team.
Okay.
He
He
knew
backs
about the cube maker. I don't know if they have that in this iteration, but so he might know that we're from a different time, unless they're already making silver cubes centuries in the past.
About us.
Well, he knew about me.
Well, there's us
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's us here. That's what I'm saying.
Hell, wait, yeah, he did say that, didn't he? He said that he's glad that we found it.
Yeah, and we didn't know. We didn't know each other in this iteration.
Yeah, we just met.
Yeah.
Okay, so he knows.
No, that wasn't true. That's right. We played the predecessor at the very beginning, so that yes, you did know them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, there's no breaking in continuity here either way,
Okay.
as far as that's concerned. There's other continuity breaks.
Also, totem.
What that is? Yeah.
Do any of you guys have any idea?
What
I
the
do
totem
not
is?
know.
What did he mean by the soup? Is that something?
This, about a what?
Soup? You said something about soup?
I said something about soup.
I must have misheard. Sorry. No, never mind.
Hashtag that's Monday.
Right.
My court has a thing for soup, but that's on Mondays.
Got it.
My friend, I'm sorry, but I do not know that I know you.
What do you mean, A-Shark?
I know you, Father. I forgot his name.
Maynard.
Father Maynard, yeah.
Father Maynard Bombast.
We never met him in the first iteration, right? Or
You as players never met him, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes, I'm sorry, friend. I do not believe that I've met you or that I am the person you think that I am.
Alrighty. You got any coin on you?
I do, yes.
You're gonna want to expunge it.
Expunge it?
Yeah, get rid of it.
And why is that?
The single most danger to one such as yourself is mistakenly carrying coin from one place to another.
I have nothing from the other.
Then you already know.
If you speak of the other times or...
Oh God! No! This is not happening. He shakes his head and goes, "This is not happening. It's not happening. Not happening." So they're not back yet. That's all I need to know. You're not them.
No.
To be fair, I got.
I got it.
You got God.
The
I watched my other self get got by one of these.
So they are back. Which is it?
I do not know if the
I don't
other...
know if they ever left.
Okay, look, you're going to have to hide. Now that you've made it here, the best thing we do is get you into the Warrens further. So are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to return to Rieger's place. Tell Rieger to keep you out of sight until we find where you are.
Okay.
And I'm sorry about the loss, but you don't have to do that anymore. If you don't want to.
Well, I'm just telling you that because the priest took me into here. So if you see me,
Into here. We're not in there anymore. We're outside.
okay, well, into the cathedral.
Oh. Well, at least you'll be easy to find. Let me go see about that. And then you guys go back to the Warrens and wait.
And do you know what they do with the people they're taking?
Yes, they send them someone else.
Okay.
Did you say someone else?
No.
Oh, I
Beat
caught
me
it. I
to
just
that
didn't say
question,
anything.
yeah.
Oh, I caught it. I just didn't say anything.
There's a moment of trying to figure out what he meant, and then a moment of maybe that wasn't what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I shouldn't know what he said.
The less you know, the better for now. You have to learn the rules and the ropes of this kind of stuff. So he says, "Okay, I'll be right back with you."
We should do as he says and head back to the Warrens, I think.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, to Rager's.
Well, that's in the Warrens.
In the Warrens, yeah.
Okay, so you get back to Rieger's, and Rieger's sleeping soundly. Larry's sleeping soundly. There's another pile of stuff in the corner, and 4 lock boxes that look real familiar.
Really?
Sick.
On the boxes it says don't open till Xmas.
Well, time is relative, so Xmas is now.
I'm gonna watch him open it. I'm gonna let him.
I'm gonna open mine.
Yeah, like, are they
do we have the
labeled or
key?
anything?
Yeah, do we have the key?
Yeah, you have the key.
They have the keys.
I want to open mine.
Okay, as soon as he opens his, he vanishes.
He just vanishes in front of us?
Yeah, he opens the box, he in the box and everything vanish.
Dope. Dope.
I would say, don't do that again.
He can't do
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say,
already
we
open.
don't know where he is.
No, I was talking to them. Yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
Or you can join me.
I'm gonna wake up Rainer and ask what happened. Or Rhaegar.
Rhaegar goes, God, you guys never let me sleep. I only got in 3 hours. What's going on?
My friend's an idiot, and he continues to be an idiot.
I'll accept that.
What,
The Dragonborn.
where's Vorin?
He opened
Yep.
the box and
Well, it's Christmas, right?
disappeared.
No, we don't even know what Christmas is. So, Xmas was supposed to be a joke. You guys took it seriously and he thought it was Christmas today?
I just said that he continues to be an idiot.
You
Oh, the
were-
the good news is that he probably knows where Frank and Chaska got to, because that's where he is now.
Oh.
Yes.
She takes us
Exit
right
stage
back.
left.
Yeah, I'm just an audience.
Wow,
That was
okay.
awesome.
That was awful.
That was like Frank tasting the honey.
Don't touch things you don't know what they are.
Rule,
I know
rule one
exact- I
of
know
Rule 1 of
exactly.
Nikos: don't touch nothing. Rule 2 of Nikos: if you touch something, get it cleansed first. Rule
Oh,
3
I knew
from
exactly
Nikos.
what it was. I just didn't know what would happen.
Well, it was a 50-50 shot. It was our stuff, or it was a, yeah, it was some sort of a trap, and it seems
Those
like
are
it
the
was
odds
the-
I like to take. 50-50.
And I'm
Um,
assuming there's no way to unvanish him, Rhaegar?
Well, he doesn't know it, but if he comes back through the gateway without having the key, then he'll lock this personality into the now.
Oh.
So you're in the room where the lockers were.
Yeah.
Sick.
Nobody else is there. The lights are off. You know that through that doorway is here.
And what's in the room?
Huh?
What's in the room? Just the lock boxes or
The,
anything?
the lock boxes, all the stuff that was there before.
I'm gonna get dressed and then just sit on my lock box.
Okay. Alrighty.
So,
So next.
yeah, I assume that he has the command.
Don't be like Boren friends.
Yeah, but I don't know that, so you know what I'm saying? I just
I'm,
appear in a room.
I'm asking.
Know what
I
I'm saying?
assume he has to come back through.
Yeah.
It's a gate to get back here.
course.
The same manner
Yeah.
that we used.
Mm-hmm.
13 stitches.
Do we,
If he doesn't, if he doesn't remember the word, or doesn't remember the stitches, or remember the bags,
I don't remember the word. of building something.
I don't remember either.
I'm sure I will watch this stream.
Am I the one who wrote it
yeah,
down?
he'll go back and watch the stream so he knows the word. Nudge, nudge. If there's anybody in the stream that does remember the word, you could give it to him by saying it in the chat. There we go.
I was looking at you, kid.
You, the viewer at home.
You gotta roll with these.
Romper, stomper, bomper, boo.
Ectu, Korata,
Necktie. I said
said
the words, sort of.
Basically said it.
I'm gonna ask Father Maynard, or I'm gonna ask Rhaegar about Father Maynard.
Oh yeah, he's a.
What's going on?
He's been here in the town since his adventuring days. He set up this temple as a way to honor the gods for giving him a long and healthy life, and he was part of the end of the troll wars, and basically rescued all of dragonkind.
And
Wow.
he's from here.
Well, he retired here. This is at the. You're basically at the foot of the lair of the red dragon, as you guys remember.
By the
And
way, we
he's
got
also from
Alistair
now.
described to us. Alistair lives in a shack,
And
this guy's super rich. The exact opposite of where we were.
Exactly.
And he's from now.
So as I'm sitting there and I just vanished, don't know what happened, I'm gonna find comfort in opening my bottle of wine. Drink it, sitting on the lockbox.
Alright, we have a problem.
We certainly do.
Do we think he's smart enough to come back?
Certainly not.
He gets it. He gets it.
I agree. I wanted the consensus of the room. So we either have to go get him.
Yeah, nobody gave you the clue. So nobody in the first. Well, nobody was watching the first half is here still apparently. So
We either
It's okay.
have to come get him, or go get him, or we leave him behind.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask Rhaegar the word and see if he gives it to me.
I can't give it to you here. I don't have my bag or anything.
Well, we're going back together.
You have
then.
to. I'm not going back right now. I don't. I gotta shift in 4 hours. I
I'm
need to
gonna
get some more
grab him
sleep.
by the head and put. Oh, I don't have a dagger.
You reach for your. Damn it!
The lizard has a dagger.
Here, you get that for a minute.
Thank you, Ashok. I put it against his ear and I said, "Remember the arrangement that we had, Rhaegar?"
I'm
Yes,
so
you're not
sorry
finished.
for my friends.
No, I'm not. As you do, actually, his small, silent but agile little friend attacks you instead,
Oh shit!
Damn.
and he leaps on your back and has a knife to your throat for even thinking about it.
I give it
I
back
dismiss
to
the
Ashok,
weapon. No, it turns into black smoke out of your hand,
Yeah. Okay.
and I just dismiss it.
I go ahead and turn around to Larry, smile.
Well, no, you can't turn around to
Okay.
him. He's on your shoulder.
I,
He climbed you to put the knife to your throat.
I talk sweetly to Larry, try to persuade him. We're just playing around, Larry. That's all we're doing.
If the master doesn't want to do that, he doesn't want to do that.
Of course not, Larry. Like I said, we're all friends here,
For some
right?
reason, I feel like this
That's why you have
gag
for a
character
black
is
knife. Yeah, that's.
ridiculously
Do I
OP.
have a black knife?
He puts his blade away and crawls down reluctantly, staring at you the whole time.
I wink at Ashok. And pat Rhaegar in the back.
Good friend, good friend. We're friends, aren't we, Larry? Yeah, aren't we?
Alright, so are we going back?
I mean, Maynard wanted us to wait here in the first place, so I think if we all go back, this means.
I got the word.
Somebody sent you the word?
Yeah.
Who sent you the word?
My friend.
Somebody else was watching?
Oh, I actually think someone posted something new in chat, actually. Was it?
Oh, he did! Is that Night Blada?
Yeah.
They did put the word in there. Pretty close. I'll give it to you.
So I remember the word,
Okay.
and I go ahead and whisper to Ashok, "Hey, Ashok, we could go ahead and go back. I remember what we said."
And you said?
Aldaboldi.
As soon as he says it, he vanishes, screaming.
Alda Baldi? I'm not saying that out loud. This is me asking.
It's actually not, but it's close enough to a trigger.
To be fair, he wasn't in a sack, so he may have some terrible repercussions. He may be getting ripped to shreds. Oh! The sack was the only thing that protects him.
Exactly. Now you're getting it. That's why there are rituals, folks. That's why there are rituals. Magic is powerful here. It doesn't have to be in boxes here. It is loose and free
Drinking
here.
my elvish wine.
The sky is still blue here.
So I'll say Rhaegar. I assume that was the correct word.
Close enough.
Do I see him appear?
Okay, what appears next to you is a black pit of smoke boiling out of the ground. And he falls against gravity into the ceiling and then falls to the ground beside
Do I take damage?
you. You do. You're at 1 hit point.
Oh, exactly what? Merciful.
Hey man, since I don't know this, I'm gonna ask.
Not only that, you have to take your wisdom score, multiply it by 6.
Okay.
Hey, you look really beaten up. You want some of this?
Your actual
wine?
wisdom stat.
Okay, cool.
Which is it?
It's 82. 80 by 6? 80,
Yeah.
82.
82.
Yeah.
Okay, now roll percentage dice against that.
Oh dear.
Jesus.
He's a pact of the
30.
old one.
30.
All right.
30? Okay, you make it under, but you are literally drawn through the void.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Do I see anything through the void?
Whatever it was, your brain was able to shut it back out. That's
Okay.
why you.
Got it. That's
you
why I
made
went through.
you made a
Oh, gotcha,
psychic.
gotcha.
You literally made a psychic check. If you'd have blown that roll, if you'd rolled over the 82, you would have permanent scarring.
Got it. Okay.
Wow.
So he literally, you know,
I'm shivering.
I'm
holding
gonna look
myself.
at you.
what's that line from Batman? Doctor, what's his name? Dr. Crane is not in right now.
Oh yeah. The doctor's not in right now.
I'm naked too, right?
I'm basically gonna hit him
He's
like
basically Tim Allen.
He's doing, yeah, he's in
I don't
his,
know how I'd word it, but I'm gonna basically give him shit for like giving me shit, and I came out better than him. I
So he's
came out
basically
with
Tim
wine.
Allen on the Galaxy Quest the first time he transports. He's just
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Ashok,
And
why
he's
are
naked.
friends like this?
Thanks for the help, Nightblade.
So I'm gonna ask.
You really helped him a lot. That was great.
Right.
I'm gonna ask Rhaegar, just out of curiosity. That didn't sound well when he transported without the bag.
That's right. I told you there are there are ways you do this. There are reasons why you have rituals.
She didn't do the ritual, and now they're both gone.
Is that the same problem with the box, or do you just
It's the same. It's a similar problem.
Do you just end up there, or is it painful?
You well, I hope that's where she ended up. She might have ended up someplace worse.
Shit.
If they're not dead when I see them, I will kill them next time I see them.
I'm gonna
Not
be
only
drunk
that,
next time
think of
you
it this
see
way.
me.
Your stuff is all in the box back there.
Oh Lord.
Hey, to make it worse, I'm drunk when you see me, so you're like,
All right.
Jesus.
So
I have the stuff from the other place though, right?
what is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
you have whatever
Okay.
you currently had on you. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Alright, Ashok, what's the plan?
No, you don't. No, you don't. Clothes stay here.
I think I
Okay,
came
I'm
out
naked
on
then.
top, you
Yeah.
naked woman.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw her my common clothes because I'm back in my robe.
Sounds good.
And
I'm still shivering with the clothes on top of me.
Yeah.
well,
hey. Be careful
This
next
has
time.
gone all sorts of wrong.
This feels a little bit like Friday did.
I think it
Friday
went.
went all wrong too.
Oh yeah.
so
Friday went all kinds of wrong.
Oh yeah. We got gingerbread men in the party.
we either go
And the
back,
mushroom.
Oh yeah.
go back to get them and come back, or we say, screw it.
I'm
But
just
they're
gonna
smart
s-
enough to make their way back.
He knows how to get back. To be fair.
What I don't want to do is just leave here and then have Father Maynard come back for us.
To be fair, between the both of us, we know how to get back. 'Cause I know the sack and the stitches. everything
So
will
if
work.
you want
There's
to...
a rustle at the curtain, and all of you walk back in.
like,
Well,
The other us.
yeah, along with Father Maynard. Okay, so what's going on?
hello.
Hello.
He's looking in a mirror.
You're fine, dude.
I've already burned my teleport. Damn it. Shit.
Shit.
He's gonna hold his blade up to hide behind it.
Where do we begin?
She could apparate a tower shield.
So what's going on? That was you.
Oh. Yeah.
What happened to your Dragonborn?
He's an idiot.
Yeah, that would be.
I was gonna be really thrilled because we happened to see two of them in the same place at the same time. That doesn't happen around here.
When he got really drunk.
Yeah, they are not the smartest in using magic without knowing exactly how to use it.
Oh. So they. Rhaegar goes. Larry goes. Pop goes the weasel. Ah!
Yes, we are trying to determine the best way to get them back or go back to them.
Well, tell you what. Tell us what you know about Rhaegar's family. We'll go get Rhaegar's family for you, and you can just go back to your place in time.
how much do we know about Rieger's
Nothing. I don't know a damn thing.
To be fair,
We know that they're captive
go
there,
back
but
to
that's about
opening their
all
box.
that we know.
Right, but see,
they don't need
Rieger
another
didn't
word.
know any of you.
I got teleported back just fine.
This is also very true.
You know, we can go
So
back.
all you've fundamentally done is give an opportunity for Rieger to get to know the party, to send that party of you guys to go save him in this time frame.
It's like using AI to do a mission for you. So, go handle that.
No, it's like having a clone.
I trust me to handle this.
And I totally trust her to give us what we need.
I'm going to assume that neither of us trust
Anybody.
Yes. The only thing that I can trust is that he does not trust anything as well.
And I trust my black blade is stronger than yours.
Ooh, a challenge.
You don't even have your black blade. It's in the box. Oh no, you summon it, right? You're right.
Yes.
I'm at level 3 now. I'm a real warlock.
Given how far
Real
away,
warlock.
given how far away from the initial plan things have gotten, maybe we should just leave this to us.
Us.
I tend to agree.
It's Frank.
And worst case scenario, we come back to check and see if it's resolved or not. But
We gather the party and try again.
as it stands, I think that they have a better shot than us.
There's 4 of them, there's only 2 of you.
That is probably right.
I'm gonna hit the.
By some trick of fate.
He's eating the sauce like crazy.
So
Oh, and the Dragonborn here, actually, not only is a teetotaler, but he's actually a prohibitionist. He actually goes around breaking bottles, preventing other people from drinking, because he knows what the dangers are.
So I'm a drunk and my other one isn't a drunk.
Right,
All
exactly.
all right. So we're gonna
So
go
Well,
back.
okay, also you realize that the very content of the way Dragonborn worked back when they first existed, which was after actually this story frame, so you've actually, one thing you've instituted is you brought Dragonborn into the first iteration. They are the descendants of only the purest of dragons, so they were only metallic, and they were only serving to want to one day become dragons.
Okay.
That doesn't exist in 5th edition at all. But that was they were paragons. They were not just
Humanoid.
random.
Dragon.
Yeah, you couldn't slum it up as a dragonborn. You were trying to be. They were paladins. They were priests. They were
trying to be holy. and-
right. So,
So he's like that, and I'm like me.
right. He looks down at you. He sees you as like a degradation of the breed.
That's fine. I have more fun than him.
Um,
I'll fight him.
so we're going back.
But unfortunately, you never had to meet you. 'Cause
Exactly. It would have been.
That would have been bad.
bad.
Is that your plan?
I start to relay all that we know, which
Right.
isn't a whole lot.
Right.
But, you know, how we ended up here, about
Sure.
the family, what happened when we entered the temple.
Sure.
About the thingies.
Mhm.
That
And
would've been
in
better.
trade,
Popped up
at the
hole
end, she pulls out a small piece
Poured
of
some
mistletoe.
out for the damn
Says, "Hold this over your head."
You get it?
Looks to you and says, "Kiss her."
I got 50 feet of hemp rope.
Hey, what is the purpose of this?
Just
The boxes. Say don't use them until Christmas. Kiss her. She's under the mistletoe. She's a druid under the mistletoe. Come on, that's what. What's Christmas if except for that? When it comes down to its core.
Why can't a Eula just kiss herself?
Right.
Oh no, because it has to be the people whose boxes need to be unlocked.
Gotcha. So yeah, do the little Christmas kiss thing, or the little toot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ritual.
I like English kiss thing.
All it takes.
And-
Ritual starts to snow.
And then we're
Open your
transported
boxes. Yeah, open your
Back. Right
boxes.
before I pitch the iron money back to myself.
And at the instinct, the other one throws the bag that he has to you.
I just give him a nod.
And you gave him back money from his time, and he gives you money from his time, which means you're also going through the gap with money you're not supposed to have.
Wait, didn't he take the bag?
Yeah, I took money off. Took the bag off of him, but it was
The
Money
local
from
mayor.
there.
yeah.
Money from there.
Okay.
It's the money that he stole that I had stolen.
Right.
Yeah. So he's pitching me more back.
You're already in the process of teleport when the bag switch
Oh,
occurs. You instinctively catch it and go, shit!
You're gonna fuse with it. Just metal.
So you appear, he's smoking a little bit, like the bag is smoking a little bit. Drop it on the ground, the coins flame out as they basically burn a hole in the bag. There's a little like incendiary, and then as it starts to cool, you see that the stones, that the coins have taken on material that looks about like this color gray, a little mottled and speckled.
Like stone, almost.
Yeah, they are a form of stone.
Interesting. I know I'm not supposed to have them, so I'm just gonna leave them.
Hey guys, what took y'all so long?
I will kill you and then kill you again.
Before or after I finish this wine?
He's got a bottle of wine in his hand.
Oh yeah,
He
he
does.
sloshed. Hey guys, she's naked.
I'm just gonna summon.
She was naked.
I'm gonna summon a club and bust the bottle.
Can I make a dex check to pull it up?
Sure.
Do I need to roll to hit?
You're at disadvantage because you're drunk.
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna make a save instead of me rolling to hit, or do you want me to roll to hit?
No, you don't need to roll to hit. He's got to roll to save.
19 and 18.
Jesus.
Not modified.
Imagine having
With
this
a-
luck.
With the dex, it's 19 and 20.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're a drunken master monk.
It is.
Hey, don't touch my
So
wine.
you got between him and his wine.
And I'm just gonna start drinking it again before he can break it.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, that didn't go like I expected.
Nothing
that was
did
awesome.
at all.
That was awesome. I learned a lot about my character.
All right. So, yeah, you got your gear back. Except you don't have your gear.
Yeah, it's back in the time.
Good thing you're level 1, so the gear you lost wasn't that big of a
Didn't
deal.
lose anything too expensive.
get it
I
back.
lost a crow bucket, basically. That's about it.
You lost everything.
And your coins.
And my coins.
All your weapons.
Oh.
everything.
No, think about it. He didn't lose his coins.
Why not? Because all of his stuff went back there, right?
But his coins got stolen. Then you stole it. Then you swapped it back for another
No.
bag of coins.
No, I didn't take any of those coins with me.
He
He
gave
only
them
had
back,
4
remember?
of my gold.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
gave them back.
Yeah.
So I gave him
All of us.
the 10.
So you give back the 4 technically if you wanted to be really nice.
If I wanted to be.
Yeah.
That was a lesson.
So you have nothing on you but common clothes.
I have a
And
quarter
scars.
staff.
he's got his stick
Oh, the one that from.
because he used as a spell focus.
Oh yeah.
if the need arises, I will assist with some more.
Well, guys, I think that adventure turned out great. What do you think, Ayula?
Yeah.
Well, mainly you got to add a Saturnine to your team.
We got information and a new player. What do you think, Ayula?
I would like to cast Produce Flame. I would like to just hold it closer and closer to Vorin and seeing just how much alcohol this man has consumed.
I want to. Yeah, I want to see if my breath catches.
It's off of wine, so not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
I wish I had something I could.
Don't talk to me, Vorin.
All right.
That would also be 120 experience points.
I wanted to be known that was 2 times this session I rolled a disadvantage, and both times I rolled a 19 and 18.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That happens the 3rd time. I'll be walking over there to look at the dice.
No cheating.
Not that I'm accusing, but man.
It's just the dice play your character. You know what I'm saying? They gotta let me succeed. You said how much experience?
120.
Thank you guys for playing. I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream. Thank you guys for watching. We will
Thank
catch
you for
guys
watching
next
that
time.
absolute mess.
Like, subscribe, like, subscribe, hit the Patreon.
Yeah, definitely like us and
Be a part of the game.
Exactly. Once you become subscribers, you get to be a part of the action too as well. So, Nightblade, you definitely want to do that. Go ahead and subscribe so we'll count you as a member of the team next time around. You guys have a great day and talk to you again soon. Everybody wave.
It was just giving me so
Ciao.
much luck.